I once heard there's something about saying it 3 times. Derek Lewis was asked if he would like to cross over to WWE. This is at the presser post fight, and the reporter mentioned that it would be easier under the TKO banner. And Derek actually responded saying that he was already in talks and that he was actually supposed to go down there in February. I think I heard him say that maybe on Ariel or something, but it didn't make much headlines or something, because sometimes people think he's a little full of shit. But he said he wants to get that going again. And then earlier in the press conference, Dana was asked if he would do that for Derek. And Dana said he likes Derek. He said, I like Derek a lot, and I would do it for him, no problem. Man, Dad, I got the YouTube on, and I see the frame. That shit looks kick-ass up there. Way better than what it was before. Anyways, I'm not big into WWE anymore. I can't comment where he would fit with like the new superstars. My kid probably stopped watching it 3 or 4 years ago, so I'm up to date till then. I think Derek sells huge fan favorite in the UFC. I don't think it transitions over to the WWE. His humor type, I don't think transitions over. The my balls is hot gimmick, I don't think goes over as well as it does in the UFC. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I like Derek a lot. Fuck it. I'll probably tune in and watch his ass Russell if he does it. But I just personally, I don't think that sells well. I got no hands, so I'm gonna roll on.
Yeah, I think he has the ego for it though, man, or the alter ego for it. I mean, it's they've had definitely taken bigger risk in WWE that I can remember from whenever I was a kid. Um, yeah, I think he could do it. I think he would be a short gimmick for a little while. It would be something that would be a long life, but maybe a quick cash grab for him, and good for him if so.
Yeah, and we've seen him like throw some flying knees and stuff. I think he could do it. I agree with you there, Trace. Like he could make a 6 month or a 12 month run, but that's maybe stretching it. In Fuego, nice to have you
Yeah.
in, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. I had an interesting discussion on Twitter today, and I want to get your guys' opinion about Derek Lewis. Right now, is he a UFC Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
I think he has to be just for the sheer fact that he holds the KO record.
Yeah, that's what
And
I would have said too. Yep.
and his fight count and main event count is way higher than people realize. Derek is a star. It on top of the records, Derek is a star. Aussie.
Yeah, just going back to the WWE thing or whatever, I could see him coming in maybe as like a bodyguard for somebody or something like that. I can't see him actually doing anything decent in the ring outside of maybe just 2 minute match where he powerbombs somebody. But yeah, I can't imagine him really transitioning over there well, man. Could you imagine this dude just totally gassed after 1 minute of doing some physical
I could just
stuff?
see it
Like,
being like a Brock Lesnar's in the ring. Oh no, what is the Dark Beast doing here? Oh, he knocks out Lesnar type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
it'll be a
yeah,
short storyline, like him come in there, knock out Brock, reignite a fire. Brock kills him. He's out.
yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
something close to that. I would agree with. Dead picks. I don't know if you can throw it in a comment or something. I'm cool with the browsers being up there, but if you want to eliminate that, I can probably move the frame down if it helps, bro. Just let me know. Sorry, guys, little details over there that just go off the rails about it. In Fuego, I do want to double back. I definitely think that I'll put it this way. I think a lot of people would argue that Mark Hunt deserves to be in the UFC Hall of Fame, and I don't think that he does. But on the same criteria that everybody would say that Mark Hunt deserves to be in the UFC or Hall of Fame, Derek Lewis actually does on that same criteria that people would give Mark the credit for.
See, I'm on the opposite side of you guys, and I don't want to derail this, but I think the minute Cowboy Cerrone got in, it set a bad precedent for the UFC Hall of Fame. I've always said that I think the UFC Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Average or the Hall of slightly above average.
You ever
Well,
watch
if Lego, I
basketball?
do want to say this. I will say this for your side of the argument, though.
Yeah.
I say if you take away the knockouts, if
Yeah.
you take away the knockouts, obviously his career outside of that, it's not been an impressive career. I would agree. Like
average
his
to slightly above
KOs,
average, right?
his KOs are definitely mostly against cans. Of course, he has the few guys where he's knocked out that were good knockouts, like Volkov, solid come from behind knockout. But yeah, I would say outside of if you take away the knockouts, yeah, he's a below average fighter.
Good discussion.
Bad discussion. He knocked out Curtis Blades, who's like in line for a shit
I
fight.
said outside of a few. I did give him credit there. I just off the top of my head, there was the one.
Ozzy.
Yeah, again, like some of these things, like Jim Miller, the most fights in the UFC, or whoever's got the most fight time in the UFC, those kind of things, they're probably not going to age that well going forward. When you're really like, how many inductees are there each year in these other sports? Like, we're inducting fights. There's going to be people in there that are not remembered and things like that. Yeah, I don't know if all of a sudden that Hall of Fame starts to get a bit tighter. They stop giving away a lot of these things for record-based stuff or excitement level. But I can't see Mark Hunt ever getting in there. No way. Not as long as Dana's breathing. All that shit he's
So
doing now. Like,
Hey
just
Joe, are you able to
crazy.
put Dead through?
No. He's not
Okay,
even
I can't
requested.
get you through, Dead. Dead, if you're requesting, it shows you requested on mine. Back out and re-request, and I'll try to get you through.
Yes, I don't know if you
Doctor,
guys have
go
been
ahead.
following Mark Hunt lately, but he's
Oh,
lost
yeah.
his goddamn mind, man. He's
Oh.
thrown so much money at lawyers and things. It's just it's sad to see, man.
What's funny is I've made some comments and Mark never replies to me, but tweets shit that I swear to God is a direct shot at what I just fucking said.
Yeah, he does that.
I'm like, you
He does that.
prick.
You know, he reads every comment because every time it's something positive, like "fuck the UFC, bro." He's fucking straight on it. Yes, bro, we got this. So he's reading every single comment, man. He thinks like filing a lawsuit means he's fucked them. They're fucked. It's filed, boys. Like,
But
do you know how many
Hunt
fucking
spent a lot of time
lawsuits they
outside
get
of the
in?
UFC, like before the UFC, right?
We said UFC Hall of Fame, not MMA Hall of Fame.
Right.
That gets
So,
funded.
Yeah, I mean that factors into it. I mean, if they let Cerrone in, they're going to let Lewis in. But
here's what I would say to everybody. I got to move this topic along.
I had a question though, Cap.
What?
302. When did they announce Kevin Holland against? Looks like a Russian or a Polak.
It was about 4 days ago.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the announcements. It's definitely on the docket. Here's what I would say. There's been about 1,200 UFC fighters in history. If I have that right, I think it's about 1,200 guys have ran through the roster. You just have to ask yourself if Derek Lewis is a top 2 to 300 guy, because you figure the top, somewhere between the top 15 and 25% are going to get into the Hall of Fame. If you limit it to less than that, the criteria becomes so elite. It's not a reasonable Hall of Fame anymore. It may feel less prestigious, but whole baseball teams make it into the Hall of Fame. Whole football teams make it into the Hall of Fame. So
Derek's got 6 more fights on his contract too.
Oh yeah, he's retiring. He's a lifer. He's retiring with the UFC. Ozzy, go ahead, and I'm gonna bark out the next one here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. We can drop it after this. I just wanted to say one more thing. With the Black Beast, man, he just has that insane knockout power. And if he didn't have those fucking hams, he would be just a almost unserviceable level heavyweight. But because he gets those fucking knockouts, man, and he can just get up whenever he feels like it, it's just unreal. And then, of course, like you said, his personality and stuff like that. But if he didn't have that knockout power, he would be a very mid to
It
low.
also
probably
makes you
cut
wonder.
lineup guy.
It also makes you wonder what could have been if he had actually put in the time and actually took the fight game seriously. Like, he doesn't train every day, bro.
I
Joe,
would
what you got
say
next?
What are you talking about? Oh,
no. He's admitted,
Look, bro.
bro. When he started his
Look, bro. You
career,
can
he
be
trained.
nobody in here hates Derek Lewis. Don't get me wrong. But you can't be a meat rider. You gotta be fucking honest as well. He openly admits to not taking it seriously for most of his career. You can't come in
Yes,
here and argue with something that he's already said, like, openly.
yes. His coach said he used to come in here for 30 minutes, door to door, not mat time, bell to bell, door to door, 30 minutes every other day. That was fight camp for Derek Lewis, bro. So, all right, TJ
Sorry to
Dillashaw.
sidetrack.
My boy
Sorry
just
to
went out there,
sidetrack
so
you, Joe.
he had a reason to go to that Popeyes, like he likes to say.
Yeah, I think he's got lifetime from there. I'm not kidding. I think he's got lifetime food with them. TJ Dillashaw, 38 years old, teases a comeback, posted some pictures post surgery saying something to the effect of the future looks bright. Of course, everybody hammed all over that shit. My question is age and DFS aside, Drug Free Sports International aside, do you think the UFC is likely to give him a fight? But wait. And do you think they let him pass Marab? Or do you think they let Marab fight first? Because TJ Dillashaw versus Sean O'Malley sells more pay-per-views than Sean O'Malley can sell against anybody at 135 right now. Hands down, it's not even a question for me. But I'm just curious if you guys are like, nah, nobody cares about him. I'm not even going to argue. Ozzy.
Yeah, I think enough time has gone by where people have stopped caring about him. I definitely don't think the UFC cares about this guy. They probably don't want him to be champion again with the big black mark on his record. So yeah, he's definitely, I don't think, getting favourable matchups. He's had 2 years off with this bullshit. I think he's going to be stepping stone for up and comers, and maybe he wins those fights and he gets a bit of interest again. But it's a tough road ahead for him. I don't see the UFC really giving him anything favourable. He's probably going to be stepping stone status for the up and comers.
Zabets.
Yo, what's good, everybody?
Welcome to the mic, bud. Good to have you.
What's good, Joe? Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I think it'd be a good fight for him to fight Cody, but Sean O'Malley's. I mean, it'll sell, but it's a little pushing it considering he hasn't been in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Trace, close it out.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that Dominic Cruz is 39 years old. TJ Dillashaw is 38. Just think about how long Dominic Cruz has been around, and for TJ to be the same age, just it's pretty fucking crazy, man.
that's the fight, though. Cruz versus
Yeah, I was gonna
Dillashaw is
say,
the
but that
fight.
to me, that makes the most sense because they have a rivalry. They have some heat between them. Just because he at one point was alpha male. I think that'd be a fucking fantastic fight. I mean, he pretty much made his fighting style mirroring Dominic Cruz. Good fight.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The one thing my only closing argument for that point for my side, since you guys all seem against me, would be that the UFC knows that Dominic Cruz, TJ Dillashaw, Derek Lewis, believe it or not, these guys are from the generation of people that buy pay-per-views, that just fucking buy them.
Oh,
We
by the
don't
way, he
argue.
died Dillashaw Cruz too. By the way, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, but I don't. I think that is a co-main or a feature on a pay-per-view. I don't think it's a main event. I think TJ could sell with Sean. And I just think the UFC would juice TJ one more time. I don't even think I fuck TJ at this point. I just think they would juice him one more time. He's good for the squeeze.
Bro,
Oh,
it's Cejudo put that man down. Sugar Sean would kill that guy if he
yeah,
connected.
I'm not campaigning that I'm not campaigning that Dillashaw would beat him. I'm just saying the UFC would go back to the well on that. Doctor, go ahead.
I mean, the fact that Dillashaw didn't disclose his shoulder injury before that fucking horrible Aljo fight, that's got me not giving a fuck about him. But it would be an old head fight. It'd be a Lawler Nico Price. It would be an old head fight. It could be a co-main, or it could be like you said. But Dillashaw's done as far as his name recognition and as far as his draw, in my opinion. Plus, Duvall, like bantamweight is so fucking jacked right now that
for people
Dillashaw's
that
not even
nobody
in the top 15.
for people nobody will pay to see. In Fuego.
Yeah, the only way I'll support Dillashaw against Dominic Cruz is if no nonsense Keith Peterson is the official. That's it.
All right, we're gonna
We
leave
just
that.
set we just setting Cruz up to fail, huh?
We're gonna leave that one right there. Colby Covington, absolutely. I said it 2 weeks ago. It looked like he would. I said last week it fucking seemed like he is. Colby Covington is absolutely ducking Ian Gary. I'm glad Connor J is here to hear this. Fucking Colby Covington is now campaigning to fight Bilal Muhammad for a title eliminator shot. What the flying fucking fuckery is that? Then Colby Covington goes on a podcast and they ask him about Sean O'Malley, and he says, I like Sean. I like that he dyes his hair pink and doesn't care what people thinks. I think we're a lot alike, me and Sean. We go against the grain. We do what we want. Colby Covington is trying to fight Bilal Muhammad to get back to a title shot. He's trying to make friends with Sean O'Malley for clout. And he's calling out Charles Oliveira if he really wants to come up to 170. Colby's thirsty, guys. Colby is fucking fame thirsty. Nobody cares about him. He been getting beat up. He's worried the UFC is going to feed his ass to Ian Gary. Colby Covington is fucking pulling at any strings. Sean O'Malley says he believes Conor McGregor is jealous of his success. Sean also recently revealed he triples his income, his UFC income with social media revenue. I bring those two up first because even guys who might feel like, man, is he really? He's not Conor big. He's not Conor big, Conor now big. Is he Conor big? Conor won the belt? I don't know. Like you just got to rewind a little bit. Is my point. Sean O'Malley's on track to get a Ryan Garcia fight. I don't care what any of you guys say. It is on track to happen if he can get another win or two. If he can knock out Merab, I think it happens after that. If he can knock Merab out, force the stand up, and drop him, I think it happens after that. So, yeah, Zabets, go ahead.
For me, for Sean Miller to get on that level, he would need to knock out Merab. Then after that, knock out Topuria, have the double strap. Then that'll be it.
That's probably fair. Or I would say knock out Merab, knock out Ryan Garcia. I don't think he knocks Ryan Garcia out. We don't have to have that argument. I'm just saying it puts him there. There's no argument. It puts him there. Doctor, go ahead.
I mean, Sean's a boxer, right? Let's be honest. If he's defended the belt once, right? And then against Cheeto, and then he's going to have to do it twice. But Sean's already said he wants that big money, and that big money is only in boxing. And he's a boxer. Now, I don't know 135-pound boxers that are pulling a lot of money. I mean, I guess
Ryan Garcia.
So
Garcia's
him and Ryan Garcia, that's
140.
yeah.
Tank's 135.
So
All the big names.
That's Mayweather Conor. That's exactly the path. And he can do it, and he should, because that's how you get your payday. But I don't think he has to knock out Merab. He just has to win, and I don't know that he does against Merab.
If he doesn't knock Merab out, he has to fight another UFC fighter before he fights Garcia. He's also said he would go up to 135 to fight Conor.
Wait, Sean's going to have to go up to 170 to fight
Or 155. I said 135. He said he would go up to 155. I don't think Conor would go back down to 155 to fight Sean. I do want to point this out because of the way Sean talks about Conor. The craziest revelation I had this week is Conor McGregor is a generation's Anderson Silva. He is.
with better mic skills.
But no, I'm just saying, like, the way they love him. He is a generation's Anderson Silva. He is a generation's John Jones. I guess I knew it, but fuck, it just really sunk
But
in.
plus though, because his mic, he's a personality, and that's what the UFC is lacking right now.
I gotta
Yeah,
disagree, Joe. I gotta disagree. He's not none of those. He's one of one. He is Conor McGregor. There will never be another Conor. There never was a Conor McGregor before him. It's just you can't compare him to somebody else because he is one of one.
just to elaborate like 2 sentences, I guess what I meant was, and I should not have referenced John Jones. I should have referenced Anderson Silva and Chuck Liddell because they're gonna pay to watch him lose. I'm not saying he's losing against Mike, but they're gonna. It doesn't matter if he's there. They're
God,
showing up.
I hope Mike dusts him.
Chandler's
I
going to
hope
fuck him up.
I hope Mike clips him, boy. Woo! I want to see that. I want to see that highlight reel. I want to see. I seen a girl talking about today. One of the women that are in the MMA space for on Twitter. It was about the Justin Gaethje turning into like the Sonic the Hedgehog one. It was pretty funny. I would love to see something like that with Conor being the recipient.
What's the line on that fight?
Is it out?
Yeah, it's been out. I don't. I called a long time ago. I think at 170 it highly favors Conor. So I'm gonna move on. I would like to point out that I'm halfway through the headlines. Those are most of the big ones. A few of them are just name drops here. Sean O'Malley, whether we think he is a star or not, we talk about him every week. Somebody's talking about him every week. Sean O'Malley never goes away. We say he's not a star.
He's an American champion with
Bro,
weirdness.
we say he's not a star every week. I just want to every week.
But
We say
my
he's not a
casual
star.
friends know him as the clown guy.
Yeah, I get it, but what I'm saying is like we can't avoid him. Alex Pereira donated 100 grand of his own money for food relief, or 100 grand of food for relief to the flood victims in Brazil. Says he did it all out of his own pocket. He's about to do another 20K. Michelle Piera is down there riding around in boats, rescuing people and dogs and anything he can right now. Them guys are kicking ass. Also, AP and Polly V have stopped posting videos together and unfollowed each other on social media. So, I think AP could be a fade. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Damn.
AP got jealous of Colby.
Usman, nice to see you on the mic, bud.
Well, I can't follow that, man. I was gonna
He
say
smelled that
Pollyanna's
finger
gonna
and
get
bounced.
Pollyanna's gonna get cut now, but we'll stick with the Kobe and the finger in the butt.
All right. Pantoja is wasting his time saying he wants to fight Demetrius Johnson. Speaking of Demetrius Johnson, he recently disclosed that he's only made about 75 grand. I say only relevant to, these guys get hundreds of thousands of dollars for fights and shit off the UFC game. He's cool with it. He's got no problems with it. He actually says that there's algorithms. He didn't use the word algorithm, but he basically said there's algorithms that know how many times his guy is selected online, and that helps keep him in the game and helps keep getting him paid. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's got any thoughts on that. Fuck, how much do you want them to give them to put him in the video game? Like, he doesn't, I don't know. If you gave everybody on there fucking couple $100 grand, the game probably generates it. I should stop. The game probably generates the money. Ozzy, go ahead.
I'm surprised they're getting anything. I thought UFC had their total likeness rights and everything. Anything they get is probably something they don't they don't necessarily need to be getting. To be honest, I know it sounds like fuck all, 75 grand, and I bet he is a popular character on there because I'm sure he's an overpowered character. Um, but man, is there anyone better in this sport than DJ? Man, he's the most positive guy. He doesn't talk shit about people. He's UFC. I know they weren't making money off him or whatever as having him as champion, but he's one of the very best, and I think that's going to go down as one of the biggest missteps of the UFC's career, trading him for Askren. Um, I mean, by now he would have
No,
been a
they
big
did it for
superstar.
him. They did it for him. Ozzy, they did that.
Well, maybe
They
they
did that.
did because they couldn't afford to pay him what he was going to get paid over there. But
Well, and they
these
knew.
lighter weight classes now, they're very popular, and he would
Come
still
on,
be right up there.
Dana knew at 125 it was all one had at the time.
And let's
125,
be honest,
135.
the knockout
Superstar.
of Ben Askren from the flying knee was one of the most viral knockouts ever. They made bank off of that, off of replays and
They
all that
made
shit
more
They
too.
off
did,
of
yeah.
that knockout than they did Demetrius Johnson's entire career.
Yeah, that's true. They got a superstar and Jorge out of it and
Fuck
everything.
yeah, they did. Fuck yeah, they did. Usman, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Nah, y'all hit it perfectly. I was gonna say I think it was just a great deal for both sides. Uh, Mostly, I mean, the whole Jorge thing, but also fucking, we finally got some life in the UFC flyweight division. Like people have complained about the four-way between Figgy and Moreno, but that too also just brought some more excitement. Nobody gave a fuck about the division because it was just Mighty Mouse shitting on dudes. So it was a good thing he was gone.
Well, yeah, and there was tons of reasons for him to go. It worked out well for everybody. Zabets, go ahead, bud.
My thing about the Demetrius thing is, I think is bullshit. He should be getting paid more, obviously. But then again, like that was back then when he was doing all that. So like, if he was doing that now, he would definitely be getting paid more. I would feel like. But I got a counter question. A question to counter. Um, what would you think? Like, would you think he can last right now in UFC? Like, would he do good, Demetrius?
With no, Henry Cejudo laid a blueprint on how it would be done. And then them boys over in one have seen some success against him too. I'm not saying he wouldn't win anything, but I don't think he would reign like he did. I think he would struggle to be at the top in this division. And Dana White was 100% canceling that division. He has confirmed it. It made no money and nobody tuned in back then. It was guaranteed to go 5 rounds before they got rid of him and these guys started punching each other in the fucking face.
We
Gable
also saw
Stevenson
301. 301 is a perfect example.
Gable Stevenson is only 24 years old. I don't know why I thought that dude would be fucking way older than that. They're reportedly released from the WWE and is rumored to have started training MMA. Gable is a 10-time Olympic gold medalist, between 220, 285 pounds, plus this medal, plus that medal, plus this medal, plus that medal. He enters the heavyweight division in the top 5 in the world, in my opinion, if he just has striking defense. Fuck offense. If he just has striking defense. Ozzy, I see you with your hand up, and I know I left you there. So if you want to finish up on whatever you had and roll into this one, that's fine, bud.
No. I just wanted to just tack onto something you said earlier with Demetrius too. Like I do remember now that you said that. Like I remember in his main event spots, people were leaving after the co-main. I do remember that, and they weren't sticking around for his fights. Or I do remember that being a problem. Now that you brought up
Do you know
that.
how many people did not see the armbar?
Yeah, I know, crazy, and it went so meme, and yeah, but people did not care. You're right, they did not care back then.
It was more
Um,
famous. He gained more traction as that meme. That fucking meme, Aussie, did better than that fight. I promise, bro. Nobody was watching. Like it's,
Yeah, yeah,
I was, you were, Trace was. I understand, but my buddy wasn't. I got buddies that stopped by. Only one was here that night. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
nobody
yeah,
watched.
yeah.
What do you think of
With this,
Gable?
yeah, fucking bring him on, man. Like Jesus Christ, this heavyweight division
Oh,
needs a breath of fresh air, man.
I'll
Like,
say this. I mean, I heard somebody, or I read somewhere the other day, somebody was saying, they made a good point saying this is his third sport choice, though. He was obviously a collegiate and uh, amateur, quote unquote, wrestler, Olympic wrestler. Uh, then he went to WWE instead of coming to MMA, even though he knew he wanted, or he had the MMA route to go. Makes me wonder if he doesn't like being hit, if there's certain things about the MMA game that he does not like. And that's why he's waited so long to do this as his third option. Gonna be curious. We've seen it happen with other guys. Like some people just don't. Some people fighting the getting punched in the face isn't for everybody.
I just hear those credentials that Joe was laying out. I would put him as a favorite without seeing this guy. I'd put him as a favorite against almost everybody in that
Oh,
division.
yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
dude, he's definitely the heavyweight division definitely fucking needs him. Like,
Yeah, bring him on,
man,
man.
that like the fact that I mean, John Jones could have at any point probably went up and took over that division. Let's be honest, but like the fact that he went up and easily done it against a stud and gone, even though me and Joe were both on the right side of that one, baby. We called that shit. Uh, yeah, it's just like, man, yeah, it's cool that John Jones did that, but fuck, that division needs a new face.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
100%. And 24 years old. Um, Man, that's prime fucking picking. I'm gonna throw it over to Usman, but first, I just want to shout out to Dead Pigs, bro. I don't know if you're able to watch the YouTube as you stream it, like on a bigger screen, but I've got it up on a TV, man. I gotta say, I think it looks phenomenal. I'll tweak the image a little, but um, I'm fucking overly happy with the way it looks on YouTube right now. It doesn't kill the eyes. It's not straining. Very happy with that, man. And I love that you figured the framing out.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
Usman, go ahead. Go
Bef-
ahead, Dad. Go ahead.
My bad. Before we keep going on, just shout out to Joe on that
Did two
frame. Joe's.
morons just say that the heavyweight division needs a new face and new young talent, as if
Hold on.
Waldo
You can't
Acosta?
hear Dad. You can't hear Dad.
Oh,
Hold
come
on.
on, and you stepped on my joke. Fuck it. Never mind. Waldo, Waldo, Waldo.
Wait, can you hear him, Dad?
Yeah, I can hear Uzman. I'm gonna have to leave and come back. But yeah, before I do that, I just want to say shout out to Joe on the frame. Go if you guys go over to the YouTube, it looks way better, aesthetically way more pleasing. Easy on the eye. Yeah, I can definitely see this being a good step
All right,
forward.
I gotta
So
ask, is this just everybody being silent?
No, it was Dad. He's about to leave and come back. Now you go ahead with your joke that we all
No, the
missed.
joke is already done. Fucking new
I
young
missed it. Well,
talent,
what was it?
Waldo. New young talent, Waldo Acosta Cortez. Come on, fuck y'all. Go on to the next topic.
Oh yeah, bro. He
Nah, he's
Doing
boring, bro. He's boring, dude.
he smashes. They're gonna give him Dispanias. Uh, Dana was disgusted. Like, how ridiculous is it that he went to the thing like, "This was your chance.
bro.
This is
That was the
how you're
dude.
opening the card on ESPN, and this is what you do." It
That was
looked
the
like
easiest Joe. That was the easiest cap ever, bro. Like I don't know how people just the dude had 2 minutes of fight time in his entire career. I get it. It's the UFC, and Waldo's not the biggest killer or hasn't been the killer in the UFC, but bro, that was easy as fuck.
Joe, did you hear Dana say that he should have given them a bonus for shittiest fight of the night?
no, I did not.
Yeah,
But
he
I
said they
will say
deserved a bonus for shittiest fight of the night
Well,
on
I
the
think I
card.
think somebody posed the question that way. Who would you give the shittiest fight of the night? And he said that. How do you not give it to that fight? Right?
Yeah, I did hear that. You're right. I didn't hear the question, but you're right because I've heard the comment. Um,
That
I
was
would say
that was right
that
after Homegirl said she wanted to be branded by Cowboy.
yeah, which is fucking dumb as shit. Ozzy, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, just on that. Like Dana gets really pissed off when what he wants to happen doesn't happen. My man went for a fucking old school Mark Kerr hammerlock in this fight. Like, what are you doing? We're doing Americanas again. Like, just ridiculous, man. You don't have to be a white belt to defend that shit. But this Despagnac guy, man, I lost 4 units on that asshole. I got suckered in, man. I really did. But how do you
So
not
here's what
finish
I'll
this
say.
guy? I can't blame
He
Dana for
landed the
being
shot.
pissed.
Here's what I'll say, Ozzy. I thought he would get out there and get it done. He landed the one shot I thought he would land. And Waldo survived it. And he didn't know what the fuck to do. That's how I feel about it. Speaking of Dana White, he posted a video of a FedEx driver tossing packages into a truck, got the dude fired. People saying Dana was wrong for taking the video. First off, the guy next to him took the video. Second off, FedEx was probably like, yo, what was he loading at that time? And they weren't like, oh, he was loading stuffed animal boxes. He probably wasn't at the stuffed animal factory, guys. He probably was just throwing people's shit. Fuck him. If
That
he
was
don't like his
amazing.
job, tell him to get a new one. Fuck him.
He deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he deserved full fired. I don't know the dude's track record, but something.
No, they got to fire that guy. Come on. That
I
dude's
throw
dead,
one
man.
fucking box and they fire me.
Yeah.
Threw like 10 in a row. What?
Bro, he was unloading the whole fucking dolly.
My man was shooting
Tossing them.
threes, man. He was shooting threes with them packages, man. That was amazing.
Straight from the fucking PS5 shop, man. Just a bunch
No
of fucking
fucks given.
technology.
Yeah, no fucks given. He's like, fuck it.
Hey
Fuck
Joe,
this job.
Joe, I see Brad's been trying to get on the mic for a while down there. Brad, what's up, my man? What you got?
Oh, did I miss his hand? Welcome to the mic, bud.
Hey, he was that FedEx driver. Probably bet on the Spain too.
No
I'd
doubt.
imagine.
That was the day after, right?
Hey, Ozzy, you watched The Amazing Race?
Nah, man, come on.
I
know Tui's going to be on it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Ty's going to be on there. How funny is that?
He's going to lose. He's going to be on
it?
that first episode, man. He's getting
wait,
ejected that first episode.
Wait. Hear me out. Here's my thought. Is Ty going down to 205?
No, come on.
Yeah, right.
Ever.
Yeah.
When I hear his and Ty Tuivasa and race in the same sentence, I'm betting the opposite side. Yeah, with no.
My man's gonna
Derek
stop
Lewis,
at
and then Tai Tuivasa is awesome, right?
He's gonna stop at every fast food joint on the way up there, bro. He ain't making 205.
He could be sinking pints and shit.
He could cut a leg off and not make.
Oh yeah, he's probably doing shoeies in the passenger seat whenever it's not his turn to drive.
He gets to bring a skateboard. That was the stipulation. All right. Last thing I got, and then we're breaking into the card. This probably isn't much of a discussion point. I just want to bring it up. Everybody should kind of be aware because the Middle East is making huge power grabs at sports and entertainment. The UFC has extended their deal with Saudi Arabia for the 24-25 Riyadh season. The Riyadh season will host their first Power Slap event. The Riyadh season will also sponsor UFC 306 at the MGM Sphere in Las Vegas. The Riyadh season has a strategic global goal for events, for event sponsoring, and they're also going to get, I forget, they're getting another pay-per-view, and then they'll be back there, I believe, again. So it should be 3 fights, Power Slap, and WWE goes there. When Dana White says that in the future you should expect to see Power Slap on Friday, UFC on Saturday, WWE on Sunday, my money says it happens at Riyadh season in 2024. I would bet money on that. They pay $50 million for the WWE to show up. If they're getting a UFC pay-per-view, I bet they're playing close to that. And I see some hands, and I'm going to let everybody on the mic. I just want to note Riyadh starts in October and ends in March. Saudi Arabia has that huge fund I've talked about a bunch of times. This is Saudi Arabia attempting to sports wash and begin to buy into all major sports markets for control. I know it sounds great because Saudi Arabia is throwing all of this money around. I I give this a big thumbs fucking down. I'm gonna let Enfuego go, and then I'll just pass it around.
Yeah, so we've talked about this before, but I gotta come to some solution here because I'm not interested in power slap whatsoever. Like, I think it's the dumbest shit that I have ever seen in my life. And usually, the guys I talk to on MMA Twitter and the mean streets of Twitter, they hate this shit too. What am I
We
missing,
love
guys?
it.
What am I
We love
missing,
it in here.
guys? What am I missing?
Here's what. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Have you sat down with no? I fuck this stupid shit. Have you sat down with whatever your ritual for something is and watched an entire card? Have you done it?
So I could lie to you and say, hell yeah, but I'm not going to do that, Joe. I've watched the highlights,
So
and
watch the
that's,
card.
I, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can stomach it.
Watch one,
What did you think?
and then come back and tell me I'll never watch it again.
Did you?
What you're probably going to say is, it was free on Rumble. I'll watch that again.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watch them all the time.
So give me a ranking out of 10. What do you rank Power Slap as?
Enjoyment level,
Yeah.
like entertainment level. I rank it on a scale of 1 to 10. Do I consider it a sport? I give it a 4.5 right now. Do I consider it entertaining to watch? I give it a 7 to a 9, depending on the night. That's the truth.
What can
There
I
have
ask
been
one
some
more
nights.
follow-on question?
Yeah.
What is it for you that draws you to think it's a 7.5 to an 8? What draws you to it?
So I love combat boxing. Like, I'm the Rocky guy. Get up when you're fucking beat up. I know it seems so ridiculous that these guys are taking the strike, right? But listen, there's a lot of guys out there with a lot of heart that want to show that they're tough, and they are. But they're overweight. They're regular guys, dad bods. These are these type of guys, right? These are the type of guys that could have been fighters, but just aren't athletes. I'll say it that way. So I'll start there. And when I see a guy get fucking cranked and fall on his ass and look around and stand up and shake that shit off, that's not, bro, that is hard. Like, I don't care what you say. I like that. I like when them guys get fucking rocked. Of course, when a guy gets knocked out and his foot shaking or something, it's highlight shit. But that doesn't happen every card. It's not like those moments are 4 times per card like everybody makes it out to be. Yeah, probable you're going to get one real highlight reel every card, but yeah, I enjoy it. I've said this before. I would watch grandmothers hit each other with their purses if it was competitive. Aussie.
Yeah, that's great. I'll just say a quick thing, and then I've got a question for you, Joe. Yeah, that power slap thing, man. I don't think it's really designed for people to watch and tune in. I think it's more like a TikTok thing. Like, everyone just sees a couple of highlights,
It
and that's how
is.
they get their views, man. That's how people are scrolling. I'll admit, I've never watched a card, but I'll always watch a highlight if I'm scrolling through something and it's on there.
Aussie,
Um,
as of like 4 weeks ago, they had, like, I can't remember the exact number. It's like 7 of YouTube's all-time top 10 all-time most viewed reels.
I'm
Power
not
slap.
surprised. I'm not surprised. But what I will say is, I've seen some of these dudes and girls. Their faces are rearranged, man. We don't see that in boxing. We don't see that in the UFC, man. They're taking serious damage, nerve damage to the face, no doubt. But if someone's dumb enough to do it, I'll watch motherfuckers ride bulls. I'll watch that bullshit. Remember they come out with that fucking the two knights on the
Yep.
horses with the shit. I'll watch that bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah, did you
if you're
watch the
dumb enough to
guys?
do it, I'm dumb enough to watch it.
You're
Everyone's
fucking
different.
right, bro. You're fucking right. Zabets.
Oh, sorry, Joe. I just had one quick question for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
You got your finger on the pulse. A lot of this stuff, like everything you were saying about the Middle East and the sports takeover, all that stuff. Do you think it's just a matter of time until they purchase the UFC? I guess UFC,
Um,
WWE at this point, it's both, right?
so it would have been if they won the WWE bid, but Endeavor being able to get WWE and form TKO. And I want to be very clear, and I've said this many times. Dana White only owns Power Slap so that TKO doesn't have to be liable and take all the bad press. It rolls off Dana White's back. Nobody gives a fuck. If TKO owned it, it would be a problem. Once Dana gets it sanctioned, figured out, and all of that shit, they're gonna buy it from him or they're gonna partner with him. And if he can't do all of that and it's getting the likes, they're gonna run it on Fridays. It's gonna be on Fight Pass. It's gonna be part of their ESPN deal. It's gonna be part of their fucking quarterly events, which are Riyadh International Fight Week. They will work it out plenty fine. Whatever. Zabets.
About the Saudi thing, I feel like Dana White's just using them real fast because he also stated that at the Sphere thing they're gonna have the biggest event ever they're ever gonna like do there. I guess so. It's probably gonna cost a lot of money, and I'm trying to go there.
Yeah, you and me both. Doctor, take this one home.
I don't have a problem with money from Saudi Arabia. I mean, Saudi Arabia is sort of, you can do anything you want, but they do have a ton of money. They made a run at golf and destroyed the PGA. And I think it's, you
No, they
saw
did.
some of the
No,
garbage
they
with like Ngannou and the punching or the boxing. It's a matter of time. And to be honest, Saudi Arabia getting into sports is better than Saudi Arabia getting into anything else, in my opinion.
Yeah, the problem is that's not what it is, bro.
What
They
is
have
it,
a they have a fund that, listen to this number.
Tommy?
The fund that they started with collectively was $650 billion. It is currently worth over $700 billion. This is for sports and entertainment. And keep in mind, they probably lost about $50 million on those Tyson Fury fights. Okay,
Sure.
it's still grown over $100 billion fucking dollars. They did not destroy the PGA. They wanted to use PGA exclusive
They bought
courses.
out the PGA's people and crushed them.
They
Holy
bought it.
fuck! Is
They
this a
brought
this an
PGA. They
MMA
brought
space
they
or a
brought
PGA
PGA to the
space?
table. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
Saudis
I
have
gotta
enough
call it
money to buy
anyway. That's
everything.
50 minutes. That's 50 minutes of headlines. That's 5 minutes over what I consider my limit. All right, that was fun. That's 50 fucking minutes dead even. Dead picks or somewhere right in there by the second. Let's roll over to the card. Trace, are you ready to do that?
Shit, I got my boy Better Times on the mic. We about to cook. Let's go.
Arguing about it. If anybody wants to post their take for a side, that's fine. We are all on the over. We are on the over 1-5 on this one. We are over on the 2-5 on this one. We are on the fight goes the distance on this one as a team. So you won't hear any debate from us or breakdown. Brad, you can feel free to give a take, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that Demopoulos, she just is so aggressive. She keeps moving forward, and Ducote just can't fight off her back foot, man. That's the only thing I got to say.
I would say if you really think Demopoulos can do it, so our site reports global average over 34 sports books. Demopoulos is coming in at plus 257 average. So if you actually think she's the path, I would say take it.
I definitely think she's a live dog. Anyways,
If you're a betting man, you can get good money on her. Usman.
Let's go, Brad. Yeah, over 1.5, over 2.5, just like you said. But I'm on Demopoulos. I completely understand why anybody would be on Ducati. Probably the better striker, but forward aggression, pressure. Let's go, Demopoulos by decision, baby.
Trace.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep rolling with the trend, man. I'm actually kind of favoring the dog here. I got her at plus 280. I did take a shot on the money line on Demopoulos. Dakota's just had up and down career inside of Bellator and in the UFC. I've always kind of questioned her level of skill. And yeah, she's 2-2 or 1-2 in the UFC. I think it's gonna be a good fight. It's dog or pass for me, but over.
Better.
Damn, I feel like I'm the only one that's on Ducote, man. Come on, like she's the better striker. Demopoulos sucks at striking. It is horrible. Yes, she's aggressive, but it's just all wide hooks. Ducote is the center line striker. She's going, but yeah, bet the over goes the distance. That's the best bet anyway.
She's just a little too happy to grapple as well. I would say better times. That's why I think she's a little happy to grapple, and it ends up being a lot of on the fence work where Demopoulos can win some minutes.
I see that, yeah.
Aussie.
Yeah, again, this is going to be a real quick one. Just whoever you like, just like pick them to win by decision. Don't bother fucking around with money lines on this one. Get that extra little bit of money. Get the decision win on this. I'd probably favour Ducote just because she's probably going to have a higher output in this fight. But there's a reason this is the first fight of the night. It's not to suck you in. It's so you can finish doing whatever you're doing before the fight starts.
Look at us trying. Look at us trying to speed through this and not talk about this fight and still spending 4 minutes. On to the next one. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't even argue there.
That's
That
gonna be
was
a
a
trend
rough
tonight,
one.
though. But that's gonna be a trend tonight for a few of these fights, though, for sure.
Yeah. We got 4 of them as a team.
If you haven't looked at this
Next
card,
up,
guys, just real quick, if you haven't looked at this card is not fantastic. There's not a whole lot of spots to love on this card either. I don't expect us to spend a whole lot of time on this card. If it's up to me, we won't spend a lot of time on this card. We'll jump to the fun stuff afterwards. Joe, what you got?
Alatengheili. Is that how it's said?
Alatengheili.
It is, you do say the H. That's I sincerely didn't know. And Kleydson, Rodrigues. These boys are fighting at 135, 66 inches of reach, 5'5" on the Alateng side, 5'5", 67 inches of reach on the Kleydson side. Both guys orthodox. I'm not going to kill the stats here. We'll jump over to the board here and say 27 books are reporting this one. Minus 152 on Kleydson, plus 123 on Alateng. Trace, what do you got on this fight, bud?
Yeah, man. I think this is another one that's if Kleydson Rodrigues holds up, probably goes to decision. We know how Alatengheili's pretty durable himself. Kleydson Rodrigues' only win in the UFC is against Shannon Ross. We knew Shannon Ross coming into the UFC that he was not UFC level. Pretty much got killed on his Contender Series fight. Yeah, I'm on Alatengheili here. I think he probably wins a decision. He probably could get a finish at some point. If there's a finish, it probably comes from him. I would say, just more durable, more experienced, and better fights and a better level of competition in the UFC. Yeah, give me Alatengheili.
I'm probably going to tail that. I really like the over. It's like minus 200, depending on where you get it. I think it's a very good parlay piece. Better times.
Hey, man, I'm right there with you. Over and Alatengheili, man. How can you not like how this guy fights? On top of that, his wrestling, even though he doesn't use it, I think it's going to come into play with this fight because of this style matchup. I think he's going to grind out a decision. Easy money.
True that. True that.
Aussie.
Yeah, I just broke down this fight today actually before we jumped on this space. Yeah, I kind of like Alatengheili here. You get him at what plus 150 right now, I think. I don't know how you don't really play that. Kleydson, he made a
Is he the
lot of
dog?
mistakes.
I haven't even looked at lines yet.
I think
He's the
plus
dog.
150. Maybe that
Holy
was just his
shit!
opener. I'm not sure, but he made a lot of mistakes against Basharat. Whatever, big deal. Rodrigues, but Ross again, like you said, there's never been a chinnier fight.
123 on the
His
averages.
wins.
He's plus one.
But you look at
120
what's he, the
average.
Mongolian Knight or something crazy like that.
Mongolian murderer, is what he was.
Mongolian, yeah, whatever it is, man. I mean, he fucking when he knocked out Kroom. I know Kroom's nothing to write home about, but watch how we did it, man. Like I think he landed a 10 punch combination. Every one of them landed. that's impressive. I don't care about
It's
your
just
opponent, man.
it feels like it's one of those fights where it's a classic overcorrection. Like, 'cause at one point we are like, oh, Alatengheili, he's a killer, man. He's got all this power in his hands. He's coming off 2 knockout wins. If he touches this guy, he's going to sleep, and then he loses, and like, oh yeah, he sucks. It's just a constant overreaction to people losing. As usual, the Bastrap brothers are no joke, man. They're decisionators, but they're fucking legit fighters. Like to fade him coming off of that.
Haley
Go ahead.
Trace? Is he still fighting out a fight ready?
Uh, I'm
Yeah.
not for sure what
Is that
Jim.
where he's at right now?
I don't
Yes,
follow
he
gyms
is.
like that.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's a good gym. It's a solid gym.
Then
Definitely if you're liking him to wrestle in this fight, I'll always back a fighter that is getting cornered by Santino DeFranco.
Brad's my new favorite because he uses his hand. Brad, you're next.
yes, sir. I think Haley's got a chin, and I think he's going to wrestle this fight. So give me Haley. He's a live dog.
Yeah, I think he's worth a look as well. I'm gonna call in on this one, boys. I'm not trying to push it, but there's no need to hold on to it. Up next, we have Piera Rodrigues and Ariane Carnelossi. Okay, just another team play for us. We're not going to sit here and beat this one up. Everybody can give their play if they want. It's over 1.5, super easy play. Over 2.5, maybe a little bit of sweat on the over 2.5. But I fucking doubt it. The over 2.5 seems like a sweet spot to me. So that's the take there. Usman.
Yeah, so I already got the other 3 women overs, Demopoulos, Piera Carnelossi, and Angela Hill on a parlay. I am locking in right now. Goes to split strat, has over 2.5, being a cash. For Demopoulos, the Alatengheili fight, this Piero Rodriguez fight, and then just so we can get the first 4 out of the way, Abus Magomedov right off the bat, plus 239. I'm locking it in right now, boys.
If you're not in the group chat, we have a group chat that hammers most days. It's a pretty good little group chat with a bunch of guys with good takes in there. Usman, if you can, throw that parlay in there. If you guys want to get in there, just send Cap MMA or myself a message, and we'll get you in there. More than welcome to it. Better times. What is your take on this fight?
Okay. Yeah, I think the fight goes the distance. It's like an easy play because Carnelossi is going to wrestle. I think she's going to get tired and Piera Rodriguez is going to take over, but she's not really a finisher herself, and she likes to wrestle and punch too. So it's going to be, I think Rodriguez gets the decision due to her cardio, but I think goes to decision is the easiest play.
Yo, better times. Let me ask you something. Do you think she's going to be able to out physical her, Carnelossi?
Not in the beginning.
Man, I'm wondering.
Not in the
I'm
beginning. I
wondering.
think Carnelossi is going to win in the
So
beginning.
I think for what you're saying to work and it to be true is that she has to be able to fight the takedowns, man. If she's not able to show resistance and give up Carnelossi takedowns with ease, she's not going to tire. And like you don't get tired on top of
Yeah,
somebody.
but
So I'm almost like a plus.
Rodriguez is strong herself, though.
What would you say she's a minus? Was it like minus 300 favorite?
No, I don't. No, don't bet any of them money line.
Right. I'm almost wanting to take a dog shot just like 'cause I think this fight's almost closer to a pick 'em, and at +2, I think she's like plus
Maybe a point
200.
spread.
Fucking yeah, maybe a point spread. You're right. Probably the plus 3.5. You're probably right. That's probably a good play. Oz or Brad, I seen you hate trained up first. You there, Brad? Ozzy, go ahead.
Oh, hang on. Here's Brad. He can go first.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you're good, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, my brothers. I'm gonna give you my 3 dogs: Haley, Demopoulos, and Carnelossi. You haven't seen her in 2 years. She's only lost 1 fight in the UFC, and she's coming back, and USADA's out. So y'all wrap your head around that. But anyways, I'm just thinking, just cooking in here. I'm thinking I'm gonna make me a bag this weekend.
Brad, you come on out to the cookout more often, brother. I'm liking the way you're thinking. I like all the 3 of them dogs myself this week. So we either cashing or failing together, brother. We gonna find out. Ozzy.
Yeah, I think Carnelossi is going to look good early, man. I think she's a fucking beast. I don't think she cared too much about USADA when she was in there, man. Like this girl is on them yams, boy. She's huge and she's strong. She's got a powerful 8% takedown defense. That worries me a little bit. Uh, but she's gonna win a lot of these muscling positions, man. And how do you not take a shot on the dog at this price? I'm gonna have a little bit of a to win by decision. This is just fuck around money. I mean, I'm not putting a unit on this shit. But why not, man? Why not? At this level
Oh,
of MMA fighting, you're going to give me a plus 150 dog, and by decision's probably going to be even better. Let's go.
Yeah, man. These
oh,
these
very.
these, these fights are overs. These are the kind of fights you got to kind of search for value in the lines because sometimes you'll find the over is actually more juice than the fight goes to decision prop. So pay attention to that, or fight ends in decision on certain apps. So yeah, I don't think we should overcomplicate it. I do like a dog shot in this fight, like Brad said. I do think Carnelossi at in a fight that should be probably should be a minus 130 favorite. I think is worth a dog shot. But yeah, take the fight goes over. Fight goes to decision. Don't overcomplicate it. Should be a good parlay uh, night and a good split strap for Usman's on this card.
All right, we're gonna move on. Dead picks. Before you fill in the tail of the tape for the Abus fight, you got to shorten his name to Abus. He's under the stats under Abus, not under his full name. So leave the last name, but back out, shorten it down to Abus. Um, yeah, that's all I was gonna say there. So next up is Abus Nurmagomedov versus Warlley Alves. Um, Abus is minus 294. Warlley is plus 229. I agree with that line because I think that Abus is 3 times less likely to lose. I didn't say win, just less likely to lose. Throw that out there. He's lost to much better competition. I threw this one out in our group chat as a group play to play fight goes the distance, no, and don't take a side, and caught no static. That's my take. I believe that's the group take. The under 2.5 or the under 1.5 on this is minus 135. That's good. That's a good line on that, in my opinion. You do get the over 105, the over at plus 105. Oh, Trace dipped out. He must have lost his mic here. Let me see if I can get him back on here. Oh shit, I muted everybody. Here he's on his way up. Yeah, I don't see a reason to take a side. I say just take fight goes the distance. No. Better times. Go ahead.
Yeah. I agree with you with that statement because Warlley Alves, even though I think Abus is going to win, I think Warlley Alves is a dog, and I don't think he's going to be put away. So I know you agree with the under 1.5. I'm actually on the over 1.5 side because I don't think if it goes under, I think Warlley Alves catches him. But I think with the Abus, how he fights and how much of a dog Warlley is, I think it's going to go over.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue it. But I still think fight goes the distance. No. Ozzy, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this fight doesn't go the distance. I think you're right on that. But I'm dumb enough to bet on Wally Alves to win by sub. I don't think he's done it in 10 years, man. But I'm going to have a crack at plus 975. I think his only way to win this fight is to get takedowns, man. It really is. And if he gets takedowns, what do we really know about a boost off his back? I'd be surprised if he gives up a fucking back take or something. Maybe while he ends up grabbing a neck in a scramble. I really would be surprised if he thinks he's going to come in here and stand with the much longer, more powerful striker. He has to take him down. And if he doesn't, he's probably get knocked out. So I really do like that doesn't go the distance. I really can't imagine what a goes the distance fight looks like in this matchup.
I muted you, Ozzy, by accident. I
Oh,
muted
I'm sorry.
everybody.
That's all right, man.
Just
I thought
like
I was
one
waffling
sentence ago.
on.
One
I thought you
sentence ago.
thought my take was so bad. You're like, no, I'm going to stop this cunt right now.
No, I was trying to approve someone and I double tapped it so it fucking mutes everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of it, man. Like if Warlley Alves, I mean, maybe he could one hit quit him. I don't think so. Abus is going to win the standing striking unless he gets really tired. And he's probably going to get tired if Alves is shooting takedowns, even if he doesn't get them. Not that Alves is a really cardio machine or anything himself. He probably gets tired too. But I just favour him so much if he does get this fight to the ground. So fingers crossed that's what he does. I'll take the plus 975 sub, and I'll probably have some sub 2-3 as well.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all, man. I think it's Abus early. I think Abus has to win this fight in round one because we've seen that his cardio just doesn't hold up. So if you're going to play this fight, it's probably Abus by knockout in round one. And then I really do like the sub myself, so I'd probably play the sub rounds 1 or 2 on FanDuel. At you can lump those together on the props. It'll probably have juicy. If the line's plus 975, it's probably plus 20 or plus 15 on there. And then you could honestly probably play the rounds 2 or 3 as well, because if it hits the round 2, you get it at better odds. And you get that third round just in case. Yeah, I like that as well. It's probably a good take. But it's like I said, Abu's probably at round 1, and then it's probably Warlley's fight there to win after that.
Brad, go ahead. Man, you're muted, Brad. I think Brad's having some mic issues. Can you on the mic, Brad?
Yes, sir. I'm on the
There
mic.
you go.
Like I said, my brothers, is post USADA. This guy's a Russian fighter, and if you look at his Russian record, you'll see he's probably going to put Warlley out in the first round. Is what I think, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but we also know Brazilians. Like I was telling Joe in the in our group chat or our team chat earlier today. The one thing we're going to have to start taking into account is that the Brazilians and the Russians seem to have no problems using PEDs. So we're probably going to see quite a few resurgences of careers, as well as people who didn't have cardio that do now have cardio. So I agree with you there. It's just going to be you're going to have your pick and choose your fighters, but I do think Warlley Alves will probably be one of those guys that are probably don't have a problem benefiting from a little help as well as Abus, and then also probably our co-main event or our main event fighter tonight as well. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna roll on from there. Tamires Vidal versus Melissa Gatto. We're fucking cooking now. Hey, Dead Picks, if you don't mind, just because I want to talk about whatever it is, so if we could get it up on the screen, it would be cool. If you could create a parlay with the overs for all of the women, I just want to see what it is for all the women's fights, just taking the over. I'm very curious to see what it is. I'm not real hot on this fight. If I had to take a side, which I probably will, I'll probably take Melissa Gatto. I don't think Vidal is that good. Yeah, I don't think she's UFC caliber. I've said this repeatedly. Losing to Cortez, it doesn't, I'm not going to hold when you lose to someone that I think is really good, I can't hold it against you when you take them 3 rounds. And then she lost to De Silva, who, whatever, it's De Silva, but I still think she's better than Tamires Vidal. Ozzy, you got your hand up. Trace, you got anything on this fight?
Over. Probably another blown out dog line, but I don't have too much faith in Vidal, so I wouldn't probably better. But probably I doubt any woman fighter on this card looks minus 300 on this card. Just for clarification. But yeah, take the over.
Fair. Ozzy.
Yeah, so you guys are. I was going to say this for a little bit later, but you guys are really singing my song here. When we've got all these girl fights, what have we got? 4 girl fights, female fights on this card, all kind of close, if closely matchups. We all kind of thought there was some value on the underdogs. To me, it says split decision, boys, and I'm going to have a round robin and a malt parlay with all these girl fights end in split decision. Um, I'm assuming it's about 200 to 1 for the four of them to win by split. You don't have to pick a side, just fight ends in split. I'm also going to have it in a round robin. If two of them get up, you're in the money. If three get up, you're doing good. If four get up, it's fucking sizzler. I'm definitely going to do that, man. Just some shits and giggles on this card. Again, don't go putting too much on it, but man, 250 to 1 for all those fights to end in split. I think they're all going to be close. I think they're all going the distance. Why not fuck around and find out?
Yeah, Usman, I would really love to hear your if you have it already done, your split strat and what the numbers are on it for showing it. Yeah, what you got on this fights?
So I haven't written it down. I like to write it down on Friday so I can get as close to closing odds that I can. But I was gonna bring up how all four of these women's fights hit the over criteria, and then this one has the worst odds. I mean, it still hits at minus 115 goes the distance. I put the updated stats that's hitting at 72% on the over, and then plus going down, plus 400. That is our criteria mark for hitting the over on the split strat. Um, I like seeing that because I don't think all four of these are going to go over. It's going to be avoiding the bomb, and one of them will hit the under. And this just reinforces the bet that I want to take on Melissa Gatto by submission plus 220. I think if there's any of these fights that are going to end early, it's going to be Demopoulos pulling a crazy ass sub, or Melissa Gatto going ahead and hitting her back and finding an arm bar or some shit like that with her sexy long limbs. So I'll be on Melissa Gatto submission.
Very nice, very nice. Brad, close this one out.
Yes, sir. I don't disagree with him, but I could also see this being the apple pie shitter of the night, brothers. Vidal might be live. Just saying.
I might
You know
just
what?
have to
Actually, you
bounce
know
out
what?
for a bit, boys. I'll be in and out.
Have a good one, Ozzy. Good luck, buddy. We'll hopefully catch you later, buddy. I actually do have a parlay. I just looked. I knew I placed two of the girls that were big dogs in parlays, and I do have Vanessa Demopoulos and Tamires Vidal. Demopoulos at plus 255 and Vidal at plus 285 for a two leg parlay at 1266. I put 1 unit on it, or half a unit on it, excuse me. And it'll pay out almost 13 or almost 12. No, almost 14 units if it hits. So yeah, I think it's a good little shot.
I can't disagree. Brad, you got your hand back up on this one, or is it just still up? Yeah, I don't think that's on purpose over there. All right. So next is Oumar Sy. You might say it a little different than that. Oumar Sy and what's that?
I think it's Omar C. I'm pretty sure.
C and Tuco Tokkos. I mean, I really don't know.
That's
I'm not
that's
over.
Tuco from Breaking Bad.
Tuco's got one fight in the UFC. He lost, and this is the debut for Sai. Sai's a 9-0 fighter. These guys are fighting at 205. They're both 6'4". They both fight orthodox. Over on the odds board, just so I can have some information to give you, and of course it scrolled off when I was over there. Had the pop up open. Sai is at minus 270, and Anton. It says Antonio Trusolo. It says a different
Coley.
name on the. What's that?
It's Coley. The fight got canceled. They got a replacement for him.
So the odds haven't updated yet. Trace, have you looked at this fight with the new opponent?
Yeah, I forgot who it is now though. Hang on 1 second. Let me see if I can get it pulled back up. If somebody knows who the replacement is off top.
It's like
It's
Sky,
Tuco.
Sky something.
Tuco and Oumar Sky.
Oh yeah, Tuco Tokkos or whatever his name is. late replacement. I think we're going to see him go out. Go out there and implement his game plan, which would be to wrestle him, get him down, ground and pound him. Probably gets him down, takes it back, and flattens him, and probably something similar to his last fight, where we see him flatten the guy out and get the ground and pound stoppage. Yeah, probably doesn't fuck around with the submission too much. Give me C to make good on his debut.
All right. I'm not gonna argue it. It seems like it's a quick push. Hey, why don't you go over here and do this real quick? That's just how I perceive it, anyways. Next fight up, Victor Martinez and Tom Nolan. These boys fighting at 155. Tom Nolan is 6'3", 73 inches of reach. Victor Martinez is 5'8", 70 inches of reach. Listen, this is going to be a stand-up affair. This is going to be a stand-up affair. To me, this is a fight goes the distance. Absolute no. Not even a question. If I flip over to the odds board, let's see if I can just find it really quick. Tom Nolan, 30 books, minus 500. Victor Martinez, plus 335. The over 1.5 is set at plus 140, and the under 1.5 is set at minus 170. I don't know. I mean, I guess the under 1.5 is probably fucking Pele if it's almost 2-1, but
Joe,
I
I'm
think
gonna make it simple for you.
Go ahead, Trace.
I'm gonna make it simple for you, my man. Yes, Tom Arnold's coming off of getting knocked out, but he got knocked out by
Tom Nolan.
Tom Nolan.
Tom Arnold.
I said Tom Arnold. Tom Nolan.
Old ass motherfucker.
Tom Nolan got knocked out by Nicholas Mota. Nicholas Mota's, while not the most technical fighter, throws hands, bro. Throws rocks. That dude hits hard as fuck.
Yeah, that was a banger of a fight, dude.
Yeah.
I remember that,
But
bro.
hold up. Now on the other side, Victor Martinez or Victor Henry, whatever the fuck his name is, got knocked out by Jordan Levitt on the feet. By Jordan fucking Levitt. Dude, Tom Nolan is gonna fucking kill this kid. Like, bro, Jordan Levitt. I mean, outside of I get it. He's had knockouts. He had a meme knockout of Matt Wyman. Yeah, this dude is not a striker, and he's knocking out this dude on the feet. No, dude, Tom Nolan is gonna be so much bigger than this guy. He is gonna crack him. This is the get right spot for him. Take the under. Take Tom Nolan by knockout. Tom Nolan KO round 1. Yeah, don't get too stupid with it, man. Just hammer that Tom Nolan line. He's a big favorite, but I don't think he's shit in the bed. Better.
Yeah, this is an easy one, man. Tom Nolan is gonna knock him out in the first round, mainly because he switches up his attacks constantly. Victor Martinez, even though I'm not gonna lie, he's a good striker himself, but he is a stationary striker. As to where Tom Nolan uses his movement and he changes up the target every time. He's gonna knock him out in the first round. You're right. Round 1 KO, under 1.5, nothing else needed.
Brad, close this one out.
Yeah, I got to agree with Tracy. I'm thinking definitely Tom Nolan, but I'm thinking maybe by sub. I don't know what y'all know what that is. But anyways, after getting knocked out, I'm thinking he's probably going to wrestle. And I'm thinking Leon or Ron Murphy is probably going to wrestle too, honestly.
Of course he is.
We'll break that down in a minute. All right. If that's everybody's take on this one, I'm going to move on. Eddie Law, I seen you hop on the mics there. Just welcome, bud, whenever you want to get on. Next fight of the night is Luna Pinheiro and Angela Hill. Listen, we're not doing it. We're not doing it with another fucking Angela Hill fight. We're not. And I mean it. I never do this. We're not. It's an over. That's it.
No. It's a over and a split, motherfucker. Get it right.
Probably.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. And take either side you want money line. We don't care. You don't care. If you're betting it, you're a fucking degenerate if you're betting it. I'm a degenerate. Trace is a degenerate. It's okay. We can be degenerates. I'm just saying, I, that's it. It's an over. The next fight on the card is a fucking banger. Adrian Yanez and Vinicius Salvador. These boys are fighting at bantamweight. Um, Adrian, man, he had a little bit of a rough run lately. I feel like he was on a rocket ship up and plateaued, maybe is the word there. He 135, they're both 5'7", both have 70 inches of reach. Adrian is orthodox. Vicinius is southpaw. Sorry, it took me a minute to spit that out. I highly doubt we see any grappling. Because Vicinius isn't going to do it. B, Adrian Yanez has 100% takedown defense. You ain't fucking with Adrian to take him down. I'm going to flip over to the board here real quick before I throw it over to Trace. 33 books are reporting this fight. It's been on the board for 11 days. Adrian Yanez is minus 370 on the average, and Vicinius is plus 274. The over 1.5 is set at minus 150. I think that's the biggest miss. I think that's or the best line, the best value, because I think that over 1.5 should be set at something like 220 or 250. And you get plus 120 for the under if you want to take it. Trace, go ahead. Dead picks, if you can, throw up that all women's over parlay. Trace.
I feel like this is going to be like a perfect fight for. Um, oh wow, there's Drew Blank for Adrian Yanez. You got Vinicius who's going to come forward, throwing looping punches, trying to bring the pressure, and he's just too wild and Yanez is too quick and technical. I think he's just going to be able to keep the fight at range, keep his distance, and clip him coming in over and over until he gets the finish. I don't know if if it's going to come early, if it's going to take a little bit, but we do know as Vinicius gets a little bit more tired, he does get sloppier in his exchanges, and I just think that this setup's going to be there for him to get put down. I think this is a very good fight for Yanez to show off his crisp boxing in this fight. I do kind of worry about the looping hooks that he throws coming forward. He could catch Yanez trying to get out, but I do think the head movement and the footwork will keep Yanez pretty safe in this fight. So yeah, give me Yanez by finish. Probably take round 2, round 3 KO on FanDuel. I think it's probably more likely to come late rather than it is to come early. Better.
Dang, man, we're agreeing on so much right now. This is a perfect matchup for Yanez, man. Come on. Salvador throws nothing but hooks. He'll throw like a straight punch every once in a while, but come on. We've all seen Adrian Yanez, how good his head movement is, how good his footwork is, and how he's just almost not to be fucked with when it comes to just boxing. You got to bring something else. So Yanez is gonna knock him out. I think it's gonna come later too, maybe round 2 or round 3, but yeah, not early.
Love it, man. Love it. It gives me a lot of confidence going into that fight now. Yeah, I like it. Brad, what you got, brother? Oh, Shoney's got connection issues. We'll get it back to him when he comes back up. Does anybody else have a take on this fight? Ozzy, you still here?
Man, nobody even wants to talk about it, Trace.
Fuck me, man. I thought this was gonna be a fun fight to talk about, but I guess not. All right, we got Brad requesting.
Yeah, he's popping on and off. Dad Picks is trying to get on here too. Let's get him up here.
Just to be a fucker, I'm gonna say Adrian Yanez comes out and tries to show a new skill in this game and gets the sub. Me and Aussie are gonna hit some stupid number like plus 3,200 or some shit like that.
Hope you do. I hope you do.
Oh, real quick. Hey, when you said he had a 100% takedown defense, is that just in the UFC? Because he's been taken down.
Yes, that's UFC stats only.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right, cool.
Brad, take that.
That picks goes to the front. He's the tech guy. What's up, bub?
Now let Brad finish this off. I want to not. I don't have a take for the fight, but I do want to close it off with that parlay you mentioned. So go ahead, Brad.
Hey, real quick, FanDuel being invisible is not our site. FanDuel is fucked up. It's not us. That invisible sports book, that's FanDuel, and that is not on us. I fucking spent 40 minutes all pissed off about it right before the space. Brad, go ahead. All right. Well, that's enough dead air there because I don't think Brad is there or can get on the mic. Next fight up is, I believe, is it the Gorimbo fight? Yes.
Hey, Dad wanted to give a parlay.
Oh yeah. My bad. Go ahead, Dad.
Yeah, that you said you want an all overs woman parlay. Literally, like the odds board is not reporting it because all these books do not have the overs and unders odds yet. The only parlay that we could get odds for is on Lovig, and if you parlay all the overs, you're getting upwards of plus 266. So it's not bad. You for sure, doubling your money off of, what seems to be a fairly easy, over type fight, with these four legs. So I'll take all the women's overs. You put them, over. What do you call it, parlay them all up? You should probably get like around plus 200, plus 266, and that's on low vig right now. But if you guys wait throughout the week, all the other books should open up their lines. So, if anything, just wait and then get your book, that you're able to use and parlay those up. Because honestly, I think that's hitting. I'm gonna place that parlay personally once the odds open up on DraftKings or Bet Rivers or FanDuel, whatever has the best odds for me. So, yeah, shout out to Joe, shout out to Uzman and Chase on that one. I'm gonna tell it. But
It's
yeah,
it's open on DraftKings already. The over unders for the rounds. At least I'm.
Yeah. So they usually take. So the way the site works is the books. It's actually a system. So even though everything is AI, the odds board comes from an API, and all those sports books report to that and then it displays. So they usually hold us back 12 to 14 hours. They do it on purpose. That's all right though. I'm not bitching about it. I'm sure you can get it at a Bet Online right now too, because all of them usually drop it on Monday night or Tuesday morning. It's usually by now we usually have DraftKings, Lovig, and Bet Online. If you watch every week, those three all usually drop the over unders by Tuesday. I'm surprised that Bet Online and DraftKings didn't get them up today. Usman, go ahead.
So I already had told you I've got Demopoulos on two parlays. For some reason, I was just trying to pull it up on Bet Online just to see exactly what the odds would be and give them to y'all here. But it seems that they have locked the over 2.5 on the Demopoulos fight, even though I just got it maybe about an hour ago when I told y'all about it. I cannot. I can play all the other ones. I cannot play the over 2.5 for the Demopoulos fight. So can't give you that parlay.
Eh, that's all right. I'm not fucking overly bitching about it. We know we should get it. We're hoping to get it at just over plus 200. And if we can get it at 200 or better, it's probably a take. Next fight up on the docket is Themba Gorimbo versus Ramiz Brahimaj.
The ear.
These boys are fighting at welterweight. Themba 6'1", 77 inches of reach. Ramirez 5'10", 72 inches of reach. He's given up 3 inches of height, 5 inches of reach. They're both orthodox. Uh, both coming off wins. Uh, both throw decent amount of strikes, 2.5 per minute. Ramirez gets hit a lot. The stats show it. Both shoot some takedowns. Themba way more. I did some tape work on this fight. I told Trace I was going to cover this one, and I did some tape work on this one. So I went back and I watched each of their last two fights. I capped it at two because I try to only watch UFC fights on some of these lower end guys because fucking tail of the tape, man, or watching tape is a time warp, and I got the site and everything else. I couldn't get not Gorimbo. I'm fucking drawing a blank. I was making fun of goddamn Trey. Yeah, Brahimaj. I couldn't get his fight against AJ Fletcher to load, so I just did both of their last two. It gave me a 3-round decision to watch, and it gave me a finish by both of them. I watched Brahimaj finish Michael Gilmore. He was able to get his back, fairly easy work. He was able, took him a minute or two. He was able to work it out and get the choke. Themba got a recent knockout against Pete Rodrigues. Doesn't tell you much. Got some power in his hands. I watched Gorimbo versus Soto. Round one, Themba Marab-like pace trying to push a clinch. Here's what I have to say about it. He's not good. I don't know why he does it. He doesn't really get many takedowns in the early round, especially. He's wasting his time. He actually gets taken down because he's not very good at the game plan that he's trying to implement. But he has power in his hands, and the power stays there. He was able to drop Soto at the end of the. He dropped Soto in the second, but just low IQ, shitty ground and pound hammer fist. On the flip side, Court McGee fought Brahimaj, and here's the weird thing. Court McGee, for the first round and a half, and then the last 4 minutes of the fight, he did exactly to Brahimaj what Gorimbo did to Soto, and he did it with great success. So the blueprint is there. I think Gorimbo is doing himself a huge disservice. Brahimaj may be much, much stronger than Soto in those clinches, and I expect that he's going to be able to force some exchanges, and I think that Gorimbo actually catches him in the exchange. He's going to waste his time grappling, but I think he should go for the exchange. That's what I got. I would take Gorimbo in this fight, but I just think he has low IQ, which is like, I have a hard time betting fighters that I think have low IQ, and I don't think that he's developed that pedigree yet. I'm not dogging. I'm not like talking shit about him. I'm just saying I think that a couple of fights from now, I may feel much differently. Trace, you got anything on this fight?
Yeah. Does Brahima have the Rock in his corner? I didn't think so. Nah, I didn't watch tape on this fight. I figured I'd let you rock with it. I know whenever you focus on a fight, you do a damn good job of taking it. So figured I'd trust the boy on this one. Better.
Bro, the path is so clear. Like, you can literally watch Brahima get fucking handled by Court McGee the exact same way Gorimbo handled Soto. Very little success. Gets countered for doing it a lot against the cage. Good in the scrambles. Gorimbo is going to be good in the scrambles, and he's just going to go back to pushing him against the cage. I think Brahimaj is going to want to make space, and that'll be his detriment. He'll get finished. I don't know who was up first. I'm just going to go with Infuego, and then we'll do better after that.
Yeah, Joe, I gotta disagree with you here. I think Gorimbo's been building wells in Zimbabwe for the last couple months and is not concentrating on his training here. Brahimaj, 10 wins, 10 by sub. Keep that in mind. I think Gorimbo, like he always does, is push the pace and want to get the fight to the ground. And I think that's what Brahimaj wants him to do. And to be honest with you, that's exactly what I see happening. And Gorimbo's taken 2 losses by sub as well. You give me a plus 165 on a sub expert against a guy who's been subbed like that, who wants to take the fight to the ground. I'm going to take that all day. I think
No, but
Brahimaj
that's the misconception. Gorimbo doesn't. He never takes it to the ground. He never.
he
No, no, he
attempts to.
doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He just holds them against the cage, pulls the double, hits them, lets them work their way back up, pulls the double, drops them, lets them work their way back up. He doesn't actually go to the ground with them. It's not his tactic. His tactic is the actual grind. And Brahima accepts that. He's
Well,
okay.
that's okay, with the exception that Brahimaj has several guillotines on his record, so he'll snatch that neck. I'm just saying, I think 165 is pretty good and pretty live. So we'll let
I
better
can't
times take it.
I said that he has low IQ, so I can't argue with that exact debate. Better times.
Yeah, damn, Joe, you did your research. Yeah, Gorimbo is all about that grind, but Brahimaj, when those, keep in mind those subs, it's against people that are just not on his level. And you see, whenever he gets met with resistance, he kind of shuts down. You can kind of forgive the loss against Max Griffin. Griffin is a solid opponent, but Court McGee was able to outstrike him, all because he just could not move his head, and then he couldn't even out wrestle him. Gorimbo, I think he's gonna his wrestling style is more about making his opponent feel his power. He likes to control him. And then as he wears him down, that's when he starts to really let loose with the hands. Yeah, I think Brahimaj is going to feel that power, and I think he's going to get finished later on as Gorimbo keeps grinding on him.
Yeah, and here's the watch. I want you to remember me on this one better. His detriment is going to be that he accepts the cage. Brahima is going to accept being pushed against the cage, and then he's going to make distance and try to throw hands. He's not real great at it. Like, he's not real great with the hands, but he's real great at making that situation happen. And
He's
Gorimbo
horrible
has
with the hands.
5 inches of reach on him when he makes that space, bro. Gorimbo's going to catch him. It's just the math is there for me, in my opinion. Whatever the math, the tape, it's all there. That's what I see. I'm not gonna kill it. No one's overly debating me, and I don't want to try to beat down the people who did. Next fight on the card is god damn shit. Co-main of the night: Khaos Williams versus Carlston Harris. These boys are fighting at welterweight. 6 foot apiece. Khaos got 1 inch reach advantage, 77-76. Both of them fight orthodox. Let me see here. I accidentally zoomed in. Khaos has a higher striking volume with absolutely no grappling stats. Carlston Harris has some grappling stats, averages 2 takedown attempts per 15 minutes. And if I go over to the odds board here, let's see if I can get there real quick. I can't, so I'll sneak them in there in a second. Trace, you got anything on this fight?
Yeah, man. So I'm not someone that typically buys into the Twitter shit, like the whole like the swimming pool, the water, all that shit that y'all used to talk about, like the library stuff. But what I do know is I pay attention to like Instagram, and whenever somebody doesn't seem to be more focused on stuff outside of MMA than they are in their training, like Khaos Williams with his real estate business and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take the guy that's probably focusing more on his career rather than making just money moves in general. Carlston Harrison also has the more well-rounded game. He can stand on the feet and he can fight on the ground. So yeah, give me Carlston Harris as the dog. Give me him at plus money.
Yeah, I can't disagree. But I'm probably not betting this fight. This might sound crazy. I think I'm going to take the over 1.5 in a parlay, and that'll be what I do with this fight.
My biggest thing is like what most people are going to talk about is how powerful Khaos Williams is and how much power he has in his punches, and he can knock out
I'm
anybody.
so tired.
But he's had 2 knockouts in his UFC career. Like he's not
I know. I'm tired of hearing.
he's not knocking out people every time he fucking touches them.
It's Jan Blachowicz and Polish power. It's not real. It's not fucking real. It's the same fucking thing. I'm telling you. Actually, I'm gonna let Za go because he ain't had the mic time much tonight. Za, get it, and then over to better times when you're done, please.
Appreciate you. Nice jumping the line right here. But yeah, I'm kind of biased on this one with Khaos. He's one of my top 3 favorite fighters. He does have power. If you guys want to see him use his power, when he knocked out Abdul, I forgot how you say his name.
Abdul Alvarez at
Yeah, Abasaki or whatever his name is. But yeah, Khaos hit him with a straight down the pipe, knocked him out first 10 seconds of the match. Round 1 knocks him out. It was a crazy knockout. But like Trey said, like he only has 2 knockouts, unfortunately. His last couple matches been going to decision. His opponent, Carlston, he fights a little sloppy for me. Like he is, I could see why people are picking him because he does have a ground game. Like the ground, if it goes to the ground, he has the upside there. But Khaos Williams has good takedown defense, so it's gonna be hard for it to get to the ground. I honestly, on my pick, I'm gonna go with Khaos by knockout, probably in the second round. But I'm also gonna hedge with Carlston money line, just in case, but like a small bet on Carlston.
I'm not mad at it. Better times.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by the line movement on this one because when I first saw the fight, I knew like immediately I was on the Harris side, and then now he was the favorite, and now he's the dog. And I understand like Khaos has power, but let's get one thing straight here. He does not have any striking defense at all. He really just, when he goes for it, he just lunges forward. He doesn't do no feints. He doesn't try to set up an angle. He just lunges forward with power hooks. And he literally leaves his chin up in the air just to be countered. Carlston Harris has, look, he's not sloppy. I think people, when they see something that's not traditional, they think it should not work. But when it does work, it's not sloppy. Carlston Harris' style works for him. And he has a really powerful right hand that he doesn't throw it traditionally, but it works. It comes at a very odd angle. He throws it very odd, but he throws it with power. And I knew he was going to knock out Impa. When you saw Impa Consaganai, I knew he was going to knock him out for that particular reason because he has the same kind of defense when he's in the pocket. And whether it's at range or in close, Carlston Harris always throws at very odd angles. He's going to end up knocking out Khaos Williams. If he doesn't, he can grapple. I'm not saying he's going to take him down, but I'm saying he can't stick to him for 15 minutes. He has the cardio. He has shown it. The side is Carlston Harris.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by a club and sub, honestly. And Fuego, what you got on this fight?
So I got to share a quick story about this fight with you boys. About 2 months ago, a guy that trains with Khaos, I'm in a Discord with him, and he reached out to me and he asked me to provide a written profile on Carlston Harris. So I went into the meat grinder, watched the tape, wrote him out a 2 or 3 page profile on Carlston Harris and how Khaos can beat Carlston Harris. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is if Khaos wins this weekend, I want fucking 5% of that purse and a shout out with Buffer. And if he loses, just forget that we had this fucking conversation, all right? That's all I got to say.
Seems pretty fair. That's pretty badass though in Fuego. I don't think you were doing it to gloat. I think you were just telling because it's a cool story. And
No, to be honest with you, Joe, he
it's
did
cool.
say the coaches read it and everything I said they saw on tape. I'll tell you guys one thing about Harris. He doesn't shoot single or double legs. For a guy that likes the fight on the ground, what he does is he pushes guys on the cage, and he likes that kind of that trip. You know what I mean? He pushes them up, and he won't go to the single or double. He'll try to trip his opponent, and if he gets on top, it's his world. But better watch some tape. That fight against Jeremiah Wells dominated Carlston Harris for about 12 and a half minutes until he got that sub at the end.
Yeah, but Jeremiah is so powerful.
Oh, I know, I get it.
And the second round was a mistake on Hart Harris.
Yeah,
he overextended and tripped and got controlled.
I'm just saying, Carlston, if you're a decent grappler, he will accept bottom position, and he will stay there for minutes on end. You just gotta keep your limbs in, your head down to not get stuck in that sub, because he'll go through that series of Darce, Anaconda, Guillotine. He'll do it all, looking for that sub. So it should be a good fight.
Yeah. I think it'll have exciting moments, and I think it will have very, very, very boring moments. That is my sincere and honest on this one. All right, last fight of the night, main event: Edson Barbosa, Lerone Murphy, featherweight. These boys fighting at 145, 5'11", 75 inches orthodox. Edson, Lerone Murphy, 5'9", 73 inches orthodox. Both guys throw somewhere around 4 per minute. Edson absorbs at over 4 per minute, where Lerone absorbs at 2.5 per minute. Lerone has a grappling upside. He averages 1 takedown every 15 minutes of fighting. If we go over to the odds board here, the odds are, damn it, I set this shit up, and then when I hit the exit, it's never where I left it. Plus 117 on Edson Barbosa, minus 145 on Lerone Murphy. That's over 32 books. And it's been on the board for 11 days. So I am going to prefix this fight with, this is Darce's. This is the fight that I read to Darce.
That real quick. Do you have the takedown defense for Edson?
Yeah, I got takedown defense for Edson Barbosa. It is 75%.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Continue.
Okay, so Darce broke fight down. You can go check out the video on our Twitter, on our YouTube, on our Facebook, on our Rumble. And I don't know what the fuck these guys do with the TikTok. Not that there's a problem. I'm too old for that shit. So Darce GPT broke this fight down. He gives Lerone Murphy a 55 to 60% chance of winning the fight. He has Edson Barbosa pinned at a 40 to 45% chance at winning the fight. He has Edson Barbosa's KO probability at around 40% and his submission probability at around 5%. Lerone KO about 35%, submission 25%. Fight to go the distance, no, or fight to go the distance, yes. 40% likely, 30% fight ends by KO, 30% fight ends by submission. Darce isn't usually real split like that. You usually shows one spot that is super glaring. And the fight to go the distance, fight ends by KO or sub. That's new with the fighter set aside, but all in the same model so that it doesn't have to process it at separate times, because then it's inaccurate. So when I looked at it, the 55 to 60% stood out glaring to me. that he will just win. Sometimes it's just a money line bet. Darce did say that Derek Lewis would get the dub. Did say that KO would have to be the method. Did tell us Pantoja would win a close decision. Did tell us that Sean Strickland would work the shit out of Israel Adesanya. Those are actually the only fights it's done. In full model, the model came from the original model came from fight. So I'm gonna tail Darce. Darce is 2-0 on the videos right now. 60% win probability for Lerone Murphy. I will be playing Lerone Murphy strictly on strength of tailing Darce. Trace, before I throw the mics out there, you got a take on this fight?
I did ask you in the chat, does Darce take into consideration the use of PEDs now that people are probably juicing again? And I think he said no, but it could be done. But yeah, man, I'm kind of thinking that he's already kind of been juicing again. Edson's already started showing that he's kind of having that the cardio that he didn't have a few years ago. He won a 5-round fight against Sadiq Yusuf. Yeah, man, I think we see a very juiced Edson Barboza on fight day, and I think he probably gets the win here. I'm even gonna call KO, man. I think Edson Barboza by KO. I'm gonna probably play on that one. Take a shot on it.
So I just say real quick before you throw it out there, I think it's EPO, Trace. I think it's EPO. I don't think these dudes are in anabolics, but I think they get away with EPO. And the reason I say I think they get away with it is from the USADA experiment, is what I'll call it. I learned that EPO is a separate test. 300 compounds, 200 of them are tested in the standard test. The other 100 are broke down into separate test groups. EPO is tested by itself, and it costs as much and takes as much time to test for EPO as it does 200 other performance enhancing supplements. So I think it's EPO. I don't think that program is testing for it. I don't think it's funded to test for it. I don't think that it's something they give a shit about. That's just my guess. Brad, what's that?
Coincidentally, I've lined up with Doris on every fight except with this one. I was on Sean Strickland. I was on Strickland for the Israel Adesanya fight. I was on the Black Beast. I was on whoever it was the week before that as well. I forget who it was. I disagree this week. I just think if Lerone Murphy is not able to get him down and he is forced to strike with Edson Barboza, speed for speed, technique for technique, power for power, he is the inferior fighter. And like that's why I was asking about the takedown defense. Edson Barboza is 75% takedown defense against the elite of the elite. He hasn't fought a fucking low level fighter in so long, dude. Like this is the closest thing to a step down in competition that he's probably seen in a long time. Yeah, man. Like if Lerone can get him down, I don't see how he doesn't get knocked out. Better times. Or Brad, you had trained him first.
Yes, fellas. Anyways, what I see is Barbosa trains at ATT, American Top Team. And as far as I see it, I'm thinking he's going to get a second round sub or third round sub, man. Rear naked choke.
You too, brother. You too, brother. Thanks for stopping in and hitting this card with us, man. Better times. Go ahead.
Okay, so look, man. When I do tape study, like special fighters, you rarely see them. You got Shopcott, you got Ian Gary, Lerone Murphy is special, man. That man is damn near perfect. Even when he got controlled against Marquand Americani, he kept himself safe, and then he timed a perfect knee. This dude times his strikes so well that I don't think the speed disadvantage that he is going to be at is going to matter. Power for power, Lerone Murphy is not going to be at a disadvantage when it comes power for power. And the way he picks his shots, he picks shots that will hurt, especially where he kicks the leg. It's almost like where Alex Pereira kicks the leg. It's the very lower half of the low leg, and he really puts everything into it. And he just gets into a flow that's going to be hard to match. The grappling, you're right. He's not going to be able to take him down, but Lerone Murphy, I believe he has a 5 round style. So as the fight goes on, because he is not going to be a weak person in grappling Edson Barbosa, he will be able to take him down later if if the fight on the feet gets a little hairy. But we also remember Lerone Murphy has been hurt. He's been hurt and he's shown that he does not panic. I'm telling you, this man is a damn near perfect fighter. He is special, and it's going to take someone in the top, to like top 10, that's going to really take it to him to beat him. So I got Lerone Murphy. I think he's going to finish him inside the distance, but not till like round 4 or 5.
Very nice, bud. Awaken my inner Usman.
He like ever since I've been added to this group, he's always said inner. There's no inner. It's just awaken my Usman. Just how you were calling Ramiz Ramirez. It's, the
Hey,
boy
buddy.
can't get me.
Hey, buddy. Fuck off. That's how I read it. That's how it is. That's how it goes. I don't know.
Anyways,
Do you not know any old white men? Like we don't. We're fucking ridiculous, bro. We say we
I'm
mispronounce
from
something.
Mexico, bro. The whitest person I know is named Laurenci Cepeda. Blonde
Man,
white boy who is completely from Mexico. No, I do not know a lot of white men.
well, let me tell you, when we pronounce something wrong, we're on it for life. It's just we're on it for life. I don't know why. You could correct Chaelson in 18 days in a row. That motherfucker is still saying it the wrong way. It's just how we do, bro. Anyway, what's your take on the fight?
So, I couldn't disagree more with better, but we're still on the same side. So, like he brought up Shavkat Rachmanov. I don't think Lerone Murphy is special. I don't think he's special at all. I don't think there's anything special about him. Maybe except the fact that he is absolutely good everywhere and not really special anywhere. But a fighter that I would compare him to is Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards has great striking, okay takedown defense, okay takedowns. Like he's good everywhere. What is the phrase? Jack of all trades, master of none. But he's pretty damn good at everything to where he can compete. Um, I think he's going to be able to strike. I think he's going to be able to mix in the takedowns to at least have Edson thinking. When we look back at the Bryce Mitchell fight, Bryce got some takedowns, but he also landed a lot of good fucking strikes simply by just throwing the takedown attempt up against the fence and then landing strikes when they didn't succeed or when he was up against the fence. I think Lerone can do some of that as well. Like I said, he doesn't need to get the takedown completely, just attempt them to mix everything up. And then most importantly, it's really hard to see Edson at 38 or 39 years old turning back two big prospects at 145 back to back. I do think Lerone is better than Sadiq Yusuf, so give me Lerone Murphy.
Ah, so you think this is a step up, huh? From Sadiq?
Yeah, because I mean, we had seen it before. Sadiq can get hit hard, and he's not gonna quit. But the chin is there, or it's not there, shall I say? Lerone has gotten hit hard. Like Better said, he stayed focused. He stayed in the fire. And then we just saw Sadiq once again get his chin touched, and he was out that time. So I do think Lerone is better than Sadiq.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing you either. I think highly of Sadiq. I think highly of Larone too. That's a comparison I hadn't really made yet. Is I guess where I'm going. Brad, you got your hand up, bud. You want back on it? You want in on this one?
Yes, sir. I was just gonna state that Barbosa lost by decision to Bryce Mitchell, and he got KO'd by Chickadees before that, and that's a whole difference in power. So I'm just wondering what y'all think about that.
Did you say chickadees?
Hell yes.
Chuck Daisy.
Hey, Daisy, Daisy, these nuts.
All right. That's this card. Um, Sorry, I was making an adjustment to our frame while everybody was talking. Better time. I'm gonna mute you because there you go. I was about to say, bro, you got a lot of background noise when you're not talking. I pick your voice up fine, but when you ain't there, whoo, you been making some fucking noise, bud. Trace, you got anything left on this card?
I think we about covered it.
Usman, what you got?
Yeah, before we jump off the card, one last parlay I'll give y'all. 8 legs of the 4 women's overs. Alatengheili over 2.5. And then we are also throwing in, excuse me, um, we're also throwing in, Jesus, what the fuck happened to my parlay? It's gone. It's gone. Adrian Yanez, um, Tom Nolan, and Abus Magomedov for plus 10,039 or 1,039. My bad.
I was about to say, bro, you give me 10,000 on that. I'm about to go play the fuck out of that,
My bad. My bad.
bro. You were about to change the game for this week's card. It was about to be the best card of the motherfucking year. All right, so that caps the card. We'll do a little bit of plug real quick. CapMMA.com. If you guys don't use it, start. We got tail of the tape now. I think we're the only odds board that has the tail of the tape that we do. We have scorecards. You can search them up in our search engine. You can type in any two UFC fighters' names, click the UFC radio or PFL fighters or one fighters. You can compare any guys you want side by side. We don't have promotion to promotion yet. I'll leave it at that. When you're looking at odds on our odds board, there's a little button that says compare stats. When you click that, it shoots the names up to the search box for you. You just select the promotion and it pulls those lines or those stats for you live off the internet. We don't have a database. It goes out from the official sources and it fetches the information for you. So if it can't find it, sometimes it's not common, but sometimes if it can't find it, it's because it legitimately can't find it. Check the spelling. A boost is a good example. Earlier today, you had to take the end of his name off because if you want to find him, you just got to have a boost, not a boost Syrian. That's it. That's the whole plug. To end this space, we do fight announcements. What are we at here? Deb picks 2:06, 2 hours, 6 minutes. Ends the I need to remember that. So we were at 50 minutes exactly, and we're at 2 hours and 6 minutes. I'll cut this out on the YouTube videos. You know how that shit goes. And then we're gonna do some fight announcements. So 2:06 and 50. Have that for tomorrow. Fight announcements. There's not a whole lot of them, and we'll run through it pretty quick. I'm going to do the others first, like the non-big promotions. Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal was moved from June 1st to July 6th. Yeah, bro, you don't go against UFC 301 when you're Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz trying to sell fucking pay-per-views like that. Jorge was bitching about it publicly and said Nate was being hard-headed, and then it changed. So some other people must have realized, like, yo, this don't make dollars, man. All right. And then in an open weight match on Polaris 28 on June 15th on Fight Pass. Owen's got a few gold medals in jiu-jitsu. I don't know. I don't know a lot about the guy. I just threw it out there because it's Joel Romero. All right, so we do these in order. I check Big Marcel's page, Big Marcel 24 at Big Marcel 24. I don't know the guy. He doesn't know who I am. But I just try to give credit where credit is due. Brad, I see you before I throw one out there. I see you with your hand up, bud. What you got?
Yeah, I was just wondering, how do I find y'all on YouTube? I've already followed everybody. I'm just trying to figure out how I find you guys on YouTube. Trusting you.
So you just cap MMA.com, like .com, just leave the dot out. Or you can probably type in capmma.com too, and we'll pop up. We're there. It's the same logo we have right here. It'll pop up, and then yeah, I post some GPT videos over there, and we chop all our stuff and get it over there, and hopefully we'll break into some new stuff over there too, man. Yeah, I appreciate you going and giving us the follow over there. It all adds up for us.
Yeah.
All right, first one of the night is UFC 302, June 1st. Someone asked about this earlier. It might have been Brad, or it might have been in Fuego. Kevin Holland versus Michel Olajaychuk. I we're all accepting Kevin Holland as like a gatekeeper, right? Anybody arguing that? I don't know that he's Michel's ticket, but God, I don't think this is a good spot for Kevin Holland. Brad's got his hand up. Maybe he'll think I'm wrong. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That guy don't train very hard. You seen what happened to Terrence McKinney? He trains in the same fucking gym. They all smoking blunts and just laid back, taking bitches and everything else. So I'm thinking probably Michelle gonna knock his ass out, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think Kevin Holland, Terrence McKinney, and Jamal Hill probably good friends for each other to meet up sometimes, but it seems like since they got together, they have struggled. And I'm not dogging any of them for any reason. I'm just saying sometimes you're around people that distract you, and it seems like they distract each other. That's what I would say. Better times.
Amen. Preach.
Okay, so to me, a gatekeeper is like the door to the elite. And I think you got to be still like almost at that level. And I've never seen Kevin Holland as that. Now, I will say one thing: he is a better middleweight than he is a welterweight. So I don't actually know how to grade this fight. Like to me, I have to break it down because I'm not saying like Kevin Holland is just going to be just like he's just going to get finished and just outclassed. I think Kevin Holland brings some things to the table that will give Mikhail some problems because he is longer and he knows how to use those weapons. And like the people who really give him problems, unless you're just a really elite striker, are grapplers. And I don't think Mikhail is an elite striker. So, but as far as that gatekeeper comment, no, he's not even on that level.
So I understand what you're saying. So there's different levels of gatekeepers. I'm gonna say Kevin Holland is, if you beat Kevin Holland or one of the guys right around him, Vicente Luque, Neil Magny, you get to fight in the top 10. If you beat them guys, now you get to go fight in the top 10. They're the gatekeeper, not the elite of the elite, but if you want to get in the top 10, you're going to beat Kevin Holland or someone right around him. And I just
I
feel like,
think you just got to be good to beat Kevin Holland. Like you got to be somewhat good. Like Neil Magny. Neil Magny is a real gatekeeper. If you want to fight the elite of the elite, you got to beat Neil Magny. If you can't beat him, then you don't deserve to be in that conversation.
100% agree with that. 100%. He is a true gatekeeper. I think Kevin Holland is on his way there, though. At his peak, he will be Neil Magny. Just my opinion. All right. June 8th, Louisville, Kentucky. Roman Dolezis, number 11, will fight Michel Piera, number 13. Roman could knock him out, but Michel probably pieces his ass up at range.
All right. That's what y'all need.
What's that? Oh, I don't know. Better times.
Is that fight official? Because there was a little back and forth. Like I believe Michelle said, I thought he was a friend. I guess not. I never agreed to it. And Roman Dolizia was like, well, they told me you agreed to it. Like there was a little back and forth of confusion there.
I don't know, but Big Marcel posted it, so we're going with them shits.
Okay. Well, I'm on Michelle.
Yeah, me too, for sure. There's no way Roman does shit to that ring. June 15th, UFC Vegas 93. Cheyenne Nerdenbecky will fight McWizzle Costa. I don't know, man. Tatsira Tyra's fight with Josh Van on that card is off. Alex Perez's fight with Tair Ulanbekov is off, and Alex Perez is now fighting Tatsuro Taira. I feel like we talked about this because it got rumored, but it is now headlining and is a 5-round main event. I'm okay with that for a fight night. Vegas 93. I'm all right with that being the headline. Brad.
Yes, sir. I thought Owen Buckoff was not in the UFC anymore.
That's probably likely because that fight is off and now his opponent has a new opponent.
10-4.
UFC 303, June 29. Bro, 303. All right, so International Fight Week. My irritation is they're gonna charge the gate. We've all heard the $20 million gate, right? In case anybody has missed it, it's gonna be a $20 million plus gate for the Conor McGregor pay-per-view fight. In case anybody missed it. Andre Arlovsky versus Boudet just got added to the card. Like, this is what they do to you. It's $1,000 to get in the building to watch 87-year-old Andre Arlovsky fight. Like, I don't know how much bigger of a slap in the face there can be for the most expensive fight tickets in UFC fucking history, other than being like, now that you sold it out, now that you all bought it for Connor's big card, Andre Arlovsky, like, I just feel like it's such a fucking smack in the face. Better times.
Hey man, show that man some respect. That's a legend.
I did that 6 years ago.
Bro, look,
And now
excluding
my kids
his,
are teenagers, and he's still fucking fighting.
bro, excluding his recent, I think like 2 or 3 fights, that man has done some good work.
Listen, bro, I know retired electricians did great shit
Oh
when
my
they were.
god.
I don't know what you want me to say. Like, he's 167 years old, fucking fighting. Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, show the OG, the old oligarch, some fucking love, bro. Come on, man.
I am. He should be on a fight night, still fighting, not on 303. Not on
Come
303.
on, man. He's gonna get in the Hall of Fame. That's probably why they got him on now.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know. No, because the Hall of Fame will be over by the time that card rolls. July 13th, location to be announced or to be determined. Rumored to be Denver. Cody Brundage versus Abdul Razak Alasan. Yeah, I like Cody Brundage because I like Cody Brundage, but yeah, I'm not real excited about that fight. Here's what everybody's gonna be excited about.
The
UFC.
UFC. What the fuck is going on with that? Like, what is he got on Dana? Like, This dude's like 1-7 in the UFC.
I don't know, bro. I can't. He's like, hey, you fucked my sister, and I'll tell
Yeah,
your
it
wife.
was. He must have got his old lady Amanda Cooper whenever she was in the UFC or something. Man, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Yeah, he got
Bro,
or Sean Shelby.
some shit just cannot be explained, bro. Ozzy, go ahead. Nice to have you back.
Yeah. Thanks, fellas. Yeah, I kind of like that fight, man. Brundage versus Razak. He's either gonna clean Brundage's clock real quick, or Brundage probably gonna get a sub later in that fight. Um,
No, your degenerate gambling fucking tendencies like that fight. You're not excited
Oh,
about that
if there
fight.
was no, if there was no odds, for that fight, I wouldn't give a shit. You're right.
Ozzy's about to take a sub prop on Abdul Razak Al Hassan to win that fight at like 35-1. What?
Hey, I can get talked into
And
almost
hit that
anything, man.
shit. And hit that shit. That's what he's about to do. Better time.
Hey man, sometimes I think the UFC, even though their performance is not there, I think they like the style and they see what they could be. Which is exactly what I see with Cody Brundage. Let's make no mistake, man. That man is a strong wrestler. The only reason he really gets beat up or lost is because you can see it like in his face, like he gives up whenever he meets resistance. If he could just get past that wall, that man is a problem, but he never does. That's the only problem with that, is that he just never gets past that wall once he just gets a little bit of resistance back. He wants to be able to just dominate.
He's got the bully mentality, not a winner's
Yeah,
mentality.
there you go. That's it right there. That's perfect.
I can't disagree. Brad. Yeah, maybe not. All right. Next card up or next fight up. UFC Vegas 94, July 20th. So this one got a bunch of fights announced. Instead of going through them one by one and dragging this out, I just like this to be a fun little thing we do here. Not I'm gonna name them all off because there's so many. It's not 2 or 3; it's 6 fights on this card. And then if anybody wants to comment on any of them, they can. So we got Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson, pretty good fight.
Cody Gibson,
Bill
baby, gonna cook him.
He gonna cook him. Bill Algeo, Duho Choi. Yeah, I mean I'll be excited to watch it. I don't have that's a good fight, but I'm not over the moon
Who's he
about
fighting?
it. Duho Choi.
He's fighting who?
Bill Algeo.
Oh man, my
That
boy
is a good one.
Duho got a fucking pissing for a left hand, bro.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the lines are on that fight. Is what I was actually getting ready to comment. I'm not. I'm plenty happy for the fight. I don't have a problem with it. But I'm not excited about it. But depending on some lines, that could change. I'm just saying, that could change. Brad Tavares versus Jun Young Park. Luna Carolina versus Lucy Poldova. Pudalova.
You could never make it as a young Hispanic boy in Usman's world. You can you
want to know something fucked up, bro? You want to know something fucked up? Till I was like 20 something years old, I think every female I dated was Hispanic as fuck. I don't think I even dated like I'm not saying I didn't go on dates with. I'm talking about dated. There's a difference. Yeah, I don't know. I can't fucking explain it to you. I don't speak Spanish either. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
he dated that girl for 3 years, calling her Lana. He didn't know her name was Luana.
Yeah, whatever, bro. She smiled. You know what I mean? She was like, "Come here, you're stupid." It's fine. I used to think, they used to do whatever. Amanda Lamoche versus.
You got hands for that announcement, bro. Usman.
Oh shit! I wasn't looking down. Usman and then Brad.
I was just gonna say he's messed up Luana twice and gotten me so excited that he was gonna talk about my goat Luma Lukbune. But hey, you hit that Mexican accent pretty fucking good. You so stupid.
Oh, bro, I really dated him. I'm telling you, I've been told you so stupid. I've heard it so many times. You so stupid. Like I can't even tell you, bro. That's just part of my life. That's like part of what happened. I don't know. Brad, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I love my mamacitas, man. I'm just saying, that Bill Algio, he already retired once, man. He's about to get retired again. That's all I got to say.
I wonder if the UFC pay levels, they up their pay structure every so often. Some fighters, I wonder. I
Yeah,
wonder.
yeah.
Ozzy,
Agreed,
Ozzy,
man. Agreed.
yeah. I mean, you'll come back for enough dough. Ozzy, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of like that Iron Turtle Brad Tavares matchup, man. I like Park there. I think he can get takedowns and maybe get a sub. How old is Tavares now, man? He must be pushing 40, huh? He's been in the UFC for a long
Uh,
time.
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember offhand, but we talked about that before his last fight about how he was a
Yeah, I
lot
mean,
older than people thought he was.
he goes the distance a lot, man. He's got a pretty good takedown defense, man. But I think the Turtle's on the up and up. And yeah, you never know, man.
I would.
I kind of like. I'm intrigued a bit by that matchup,
Brad
man.
Tavares is 36.
If I'm
I,
not if I'm
Only
not
36.
mistaken,
Wow.
if I'm not mistaken, Brad Tavares has the record for the most decisions in the UFC history, or the most decisions in the UFC middleweight history.
Yeah, he's wide.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise
and
me, man. He
no,
goes the distance a lot. That gives a
Demetrius
Turtle a
Johnson.
lot of time to work.
It's got to be just in the middleweight division, bro. Demetrius Johnson's got 127.
Amen. Preach.
Yeah, because he was in the space earlier. Full circle. Better times.
Yeah, hey, if he
Hey,
was here, man, he would have made a lot of money, bro. For real. I mean, if he was in the UFC right now, I don't care about his wrestling or anything, but Johnson's dope.
yeah, I like that.
He's
I like that Brad Tavares fight too. I do not think Park is going to get him down. That man has incredible defense, but I think the real money's probably going to come in on Carolina, man. Like she's been an underdog I think a lot of her UFC fights, and I think this is another fight that they're probably going to underestimate her on. And we all know how I wouldn't say how good she is, but how hard of a fight she is due to her like unorthodox style. So I think this is another fucking fight to make money on.
I mean, I don't know about that.
um yeah, that's that. So there's two more on this fight card that I think are a little more exciting, and that closes this one out. Amanda Lemos versus Verna Jandaroba. I'm taking Verna, not really, but really. And then Tracy Cortez versus Miranda Maverick. Again, I'm taking Miranda Maverick, not really, but probably really. So real quick, how does Lemos not get smothered by Verna? And then how is Tracy actually stronger than Miranda? Because that fight is just going to come down to who's physically stronger, in my opinion. And then that's the person that will implement their game for 12 and a half minutes of a 15-minute fight. So, like, I'm not being a martyr. I'm really asking, like, does anybody think Tracy is stronger, like in the grapple, clinch, push, stronger than Miranda Maverick?
I don't think so.
I don't either,
I
and I
do.
think that's where that goes.
I do. Remember, watch her fights against fucking Jasmine Jasavicius and
Okay,
and fucking Melissa Gatto. Melissa Gatto is really fucking strong when she grabs a hold of you. Cortez was able to fucking get that off her. And let's be honest, man, Jasavicius is a really strong grappler as well. She is very hard to take down. Even when you when you beat her to the position, she still finds a way to keep herself up. I think Cortez is way, and that Jasmine Jasavicius fight, I had Jasavicius because I knew how good she was. But Cortez showed up like way better than her past performances. So I think not only is she stronger, but she is improving in her time away. So this is a problem for Miranda Maverick because Maverick is not a better striker. And I don't think Miranda is just going to be able to take Cortez down easily.
Well, I would say this: she has to win.
Yeah, she
We're
has
big
to.
Miranda. We're Maverick fans around here. She's probably spent well over an hour in this space, couple of visits. Great person, but you got
Oh, and here's another
to
thing.
hold her.
Cortez beat Blanchfield.
Yeah, and Jazz Devicius controlled the fuck out of Miranda Maverick. Don't forget that. I don't know who was next. Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, we're really not going to have the discussion about Jandaroba. I know she's a little cockeyed and all, but I mean, she probably is the GOAT right now, for real. Just saying, by her record, her wrestling, her striking, everything in between, I think she could be a real contender for the belt. Just because she ain't a good looking chick don't mean shit. You know, we in here fighting for honor, right? And fighting for the truth and the real who's the best of them all. And I think Jandarova's got it, baby.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to remember, too, bro.
I almost exclusively bet on the uglier chick.
Yeah, and you got to remember too. People don't really talk shit about Janda Rowe because she would see them, so they don't really do it. You know what I mean? Ozzy, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of like favor Maverick. I'm assuming she's probably going to be a dog in this fight, judging by what you guys are saying. But I like her to win a decision here, man. I think she is going to get the most top control, and you just never know with Cortez, man. She's so famous now. She's more worried about modeling and this kind of stuff. Maverick really has nothing else going on besides fighting, man. That's all she does. It's all she calls. Cares about.
She
I
does
think
a lot of.
Maverick's.
She does a lot of
We
pickling.
also know she grinding it out.
Yeah, that's right. She does some pickling, man.
Her,
She's on the farm just lifting heavy
her
shit,
and
man.
Garrett,
She's one to watch.
they worked together for years. They've trained together for years. So I don't know if she's out there training with the Trey Ogden gym, but we know Gary Armfield. We just had him on the show a few weeks ago. He was talking about how he's trained with her for years. So she's getting in at least good training partners.
So for me, I see Miranda's path as pull the double, posture up, don't actually go to the ground, try to ground and pound for 15 minutes from stand. Um, but I think it's possible. But I mean, Tracy's really good. I'm not. I just it's just what I
So
see. Better.
Okay, so real quick about the Tracy Cortez thing. That whole anything you see on social media that makes you think she's not training, that shit was still going on back when she had that long layoff before she fought Jasovicius, and she still showed up way better than she ever has. So I have no doubt that she is still getting better. I think this is just a overall bad matchup for Miranda Maverick. But Joe, man, I got to give you props. Me and you kind of went back and forth on that Jandaroba versus Godinez fight. And bro, you were right. You were just fucking right the whole everything. But I was still kind of right too, but I was overall wrong because you had it perfect. Like she was going to be able to take the back, control it, and Godinez wasn't going to be able to do anything about it. Dude, you were right, and I think she's going to do the same thing to Lemos because she doesn't engage in the striking carelessly. She only does it to set up her takedowns, and she times them very well. I don't think Lemos is going to be able to get her off.
No, she's gonna cook
man,
it.
Joe,
In
you're
my
right,
opinion.
but I was right too.
Trace, were you trying to get the mic before I threw it over to Better? Listen, guys, we got 13 minutes and we're done no matter what. Were you trying to get on the mic before I was throwing it around,
Yeah, I
Trace?
don't remember. It's all good. Usman, what you got?
Nah, just quick saying, I really don't see a way how Maverick wins. I know we all love her, but I think Tracy can match the strength, and I think she's a more technical and skilled grappler. I wouldn't like to see Miranda go for takedowns here because we've never seen Tracy get held down. Um, she's more than likely going to be able to get back up or maybe even reverse positions. And the kind of striking that she showed, it's getting better, especially in that Jazz Devicius fight. It's just it's not a good combo for Maverick. And then as for all the distractions, Maverick's got her pickle company. She's always doing fundraisers. She's always doing like raffles and shit. Like she's a pretty busy girl herself, so wouldn't look too much into distractions.
Brad. Brad.
Connection
No.
issues. I remember it
All
was
right.
earlier now, Joe. Who would you say? Who
Yeah.
would you say has the better boxing of the two?
Tracy Cortez.
I'd say it's both pretty bad. Like
Yeah,
neither of these girls, you want to rely on their boxing.
I think it's 50-50. I think we could see a fight where these girls wrestling cancels each other out and they're forced to strike. And honestly, I think it's just going to be who has more of the dog in them.
Yeah, that's a hard one to argue there too. It's very possible they stalemate like that. Wouldn't have much of an argument for that. Um, yeah, very very possible. Um, I tell you one thing I will say to you guys that is absolutely fucking amazing. Look at Tracy Cortez's bookmarks. Whenever you see one of her posts, check the bookmark
Where I
count.
thought you was going, but we still kind of got there anyways.
Yeah, bro, it never stops. It's fucking crazy. Like I can't. It's insane. You see a Tracy Cortez fucking post. It's got like 200 likes, 480 bookmarks. What the fuck are you guys doing with all her
You're the
pictures?
only person that's going on a course or on somebody's picture. Like the nerve of these motherfuckers bookmarking this post.
No, so here's what happens. She actually posted something that was like headline worthy that I was like, oh, I got to throw that one in. And I went to bookmark it, and it was bookmarked like 400 times, bro. I've never seen no shit like that unless it was like fucking Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Like, people don't bookmark 400 fucking nothing, man. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then I'm like, it's because you can see her ass. And then I'm
He's on.
like, nah. I immediately had a no way
Wait,
moment, and I had to go
could you
check.
put it in the Jumbotron?
Then I had to go check. I'm like, let me scroll, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is insane. All right, so UFC 304. I don't care what you guys say. That's UFC Ho to me because I'm from the pager days, and 304 was Ho. So UFC Ho is on July 27th. Three fights official. Mohammed Mokayev, Manel Cape, Shayna Bannon versus Ravina Oliveira. Neither one of them have a UFC win. Molly McCain and Bruno Brazil, or Brazil. I am taking. Bro, I want Manuel Cape to beat him, but he's about to hump Manuel Cape.
It's B times.
Better times.
Just mute him. Mute
No.
him.
Yeah, I got him mute out. He didn't know. Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, Manel Cape ain't even gonna fight, man. He always pulls out, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know. And Micaiah probably just gonna hump his leg. All right,
Just
last
like
thing on
Jared Gordon. Just like Jared Gordon, always pulling out of a fight.
UFC is returning to Paris Saturday, September 28th at the Accor Arena. This announcement marks the UFC's third trip to France since its inaugural event in 2022. I took that sentence right off the UFC's website. Full plagiarism there. If I credit them though, I don't think it's plagiarism. I think it's a quote. So that's where that quote came from, guys. That's it. That's the whole space. I'm cool for a few minutes. If anybody's got a topic they want to throw out there or didn't get hit tonight before we go, Brad, go ahead.
Warrior or Makachev?
I really want DP to get it. I'm probably not gonna bet the fight. Islam by submission is probably the most obvious outcome that there is. Trace.
I just wanted to touch on the Slava Claus Chase Hooper fight. What y'all think of the tap? I didn't. I personally don't think it was a tab. It looked like he was looking for his legs to push off, like they were saying. Like I think Laura Sanko even said it was as it was happening, looking for the hip to push off to create space. Because if you look in the choke, like the entire time, it didn't look like it was tight. Like you could see his face. Mouth was open. He was stretching out, trying to create space. I don't think it matters. I think Chase Hooper was going to get the finish at some point in that fight, regardless. Because I mean, Chase looked tremendous in that fight. I was completely wrong about that. I didn't think he was going to be strong enough to get the takedown, but he fucking bulldozed Slava. So yeah, what were y'all's thoughts on the submission on the tap?
I am 100% on. It was not a tap. It was a position check. The hip. I'm not going to argue with the hip, but I'm not going to steal your take because I didn't say it was the hip before that. It was definitely he was checking for body position so that he could try to counter movement. I I I literally yelled at the TV, "What the fuck is he doing?" before the replays or any of that. And my buddy was like, "Yeah, bro, I don't think that was a tap." So I thought it was pretty obviously not a tap, and I think it should. Here's the shitty thing: I think Slavakos deserves a no contest, but why does Chase Hooper have to take the no contest? That's not his fault. Like, it's such a shitty spot. Like, in order for Slavakos to vindicate the referee making a shitty call to him, they got to take from Chase Hooper. And a lot of times that's what holds them up or whatever. But, like, I don't know, man. I just think it's a shitty situation.
Gary Copeland, or was
Gary
Yeah,
that Keith?
Gary fucking Copeland. Fuck that midget motherfucker. He's the son that cost us city. He's the son bitch that cost us last weekend. He's a piece of shit ref, man. They need to fire that fucking guy and fucking throw him in the dumpster and light him on
Because
fire.
like his other style is usually he is super early on the stoppage. That was always his problem before. Is like he didn't want people to take damage, but this weekend he was letting motherfuckers die in there, bro. Because if he was the one that was over there, like he could have stopped that fight from the ground and pound way earlier.
For
Like that's
like 5 minutes.
Not,
He could have
not
stopped it so
because
many
what
times.
I do had.
I seen the footage. Backstage. The head referee guy came down and was like, "Listen, if you keep calling these fucking fights like this all the time, we're gonna have a problem. So you better fucking do something about it." And then he went out to the ring with an attitude and was like, "I'll fucking show them." That's what happened, guys. I'm making that up, but that's probably what happened because there's no fucking explanation whatsoever other than him being like, "Oh, I'll show you, motherfuckers." Okay, I'll show you. Like, I can't explain it. Like,
I'm
that
soft.
to be it.
You think I'm soft? I ain't soft.
Yeah, that's what I'm
He'll
saying.
fucking die today.
I watched Rocky 4, motherfuckers. If he dies, he dies. Let's go. Like,
Did you guys see the picture of Chase Hooper? He looked like the Jesus cross when he had when Borshchev stood up and he was just that was just a crazy picture.
no, what are you talking about? What do you mean he looked like the
You
Jesus
didn't see
cross?
that?
What do you mean?
Wasn't even a finished thought, bro.
You remember when Borshchev stood up midway when Chase Hooper had him in the what do you call that submission? The
Crucifix. The
crucifix,
crucifix.
yeah, he had him in that abortion. Son,
Oh yeah, yeah,
bro,
I seen it.
walked like a zombie for like 1 yard. Like,
I
Cat.
thought me and my buddy were trying to figure out if it was a man. I called it on the moment. I can't think of it now. What did the Lex Luthor used to do? What was his move?
I think the backbreaker or something like that.
Nah, I used to put him over his shoulders and stretch their ass. I can't remember
The
what it's
pedigree.
called now, but I remember that day. Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I hate Gary Copeland, bro. I really do. Hey, after Atlantic City and that one-handed tap, he cost me a lot of money with that Chase Super KO. And why didn't he call it earlier? You know, he's a bum, bro. You need to throw him in a trash can like Oscar the Grouch and light that shit on fire. Pour some gas on that fire. Please, somebody.
That sounds real personal with you, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Hey, hey, it ought to be real personal with everybody, for real. I mean, Gary Copeland, I mean, come on, man. Come on. You
It
got
was
too many
called.
flavors in your head? Are you drinking too much? Or are you drunk,
I'm
Gary?
removing something as the
What's
speakers. Not
I
get on the mic. We have too many people on the mic right now.
Gotcha. Zabets, just to reference that it was the torture rack. All right, guys, that's the time. All right, so capmma.com. I know I hit it a couple times today. I know you guys have all heard it, but man, the tail of the tape took a lot of work. The scorecard search engine stays up to date, really on top of it. And then the back end we are already demoing out, and I actually expect to have it out by next week, which probably means 2 weeks from now. You guys know how that shit goes. But we have all the headlines now. So there'll be a little icon next to the fighter's name. If there are any headlines over the 7 biggest outlets over the past 2 weeks, the little icon's going to light up blue. You click the little icon, it will list every headline they've been listed in, and you can just click the headlines and it'll open them up in new tabs for you so you can look at the articles if it's something you want to read about. And that's just one of the features. We got a few more things up our sleeve before it's all said and done. But I do expect to round out the site and have it fully functional before the midpoint of this year. Or not the midpoint of this year, before the end of the summer, I should have said. I'm hoping to round everything out and pretty much just be working out bugs by then. So, capmma.com. Sundays after the space, Usman, Awaken My Usman. He does cash or trash on Sunday nights. Again, it's a great space. I am promoting our product, but I'm being honest. It's a fucking super great space. He hits you with a lot of numbers. He's got a lot of bet strategies that he reviews, a lot of statistics he keeps going. Pretty awesome to hear. I thoroughly enjoy it every week. That's pretty much all I got. Try to follow our team. The Cap MMA page first. Trace picks fights, Usman, dead picks. I don't give a shit if you follow my personal profile, but try to follow these guys. All our regulars, thank you guys. Man, I'm not fuck the show. Fuck all that stuff. Fuck all the YouTube stuff, man. This is my favorite thing to do every week is come in here and talk fights and talk MMA and do this. And I don't I want to build everything we're doing, but I don't actually give a shit about the YouTube channel or the Rumble as far as I would do this without that every week. So everybody that comes in here and kicks it with us and fucking gets on the mics and gives takes, man, I thank you sincerely and honestly. That's it. I'm gonna call it dead picks. You're the only guy I'm gonna give that mic to right now, but what you got?
I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. Joe said it very perfectly. Yeah, he pretty much put it into a good sum of how I'm feeling with all this. That it's like it's all a a passion project. We do it not for like clicks and views. We do it strictly just for the betterment of betters. We're trying to help gamblers out there. We're trying to be better gamblers out here. So fuck with the website. Check it out. It's all free. No scams. No ads. It's kind of still in beta, but I mean we're kind of beyond that. You know, it's a lot of good shit. You know, to help you cap your own fights. You know, a lot of stuff to help you build your parlays. You know, to look at the odds, so you don't have to open up all these extra books and do all this extra. You know, like little steps. You can just go to capmma.com. You can do everything pretty much right there. You can even click on your sports book and it like sends you right to it. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff over here. You know, if you want to cap fights, if you want to, you know, just look at the odds, highly suggest it. Check us out on YouTube too.
All inf-
Um,
all information is live.
all live.
Everything you see is live. We don't have databases except for scorecards. Everything is live. That's it, guys. Thank everybody for coming. Trace, you sit here and co-host with me and make sure everything's covered. Dead picks, you do the tech, and Usman, you never miss.